Yes.
Hey, did you notice that we matched today?
We do. We're both wearing green.
We matched.
It's amazing.
We're awesome. Okay, so while we get, we're situating here. Okay, so last time, since we got in a big argument about what I would say to McFoley, we went overtime, so we had to split up Not PG Entertainment questions.
Hey, he gets 2 videos. Double plugs for Not PG Entertainment.
So,
hey, when are you going to read McFoley's book that he sent you, by the way?
I will read it eventually.
Yeah, that's what you said when he got it in, like, November.
You know, but I was still in school at that time, and I said I won't even start thinking about reading it till I'm out of school. I just got out of school very recently.
Alright, well, I'll be prodding you about that.
Be prodding. Anyways, so, Chronics. What would you rather have come back, the cruiserweights or hardcore matches?
The cruiserweights. I mean, I liked hardcore matches back in the day, but see, when I go back and look at them now, and not just, forget the nostalgia and everything, and actually analyze them as matches, I got them all on VHSs, so I can watch them all. And there's not a very good psychological deal to the matches. I mean, it's like, 1, 2, 3, let's jump, and let's hit each other with trash cans. And, like, the matches don't really make sense. Then you go to the next match, and then all of a sudden the rules of logic have completely changed. Because before in a hardcore match, you could beat each other senseless with weapons, and then in the next match, guys get beat senseless with moves. And if one steel chair gets involved in the main event, well, that's the deciding factor. Well, see, that doesn't really make sense overall over the entire product. So I would say cruiserweights. Okay. And I think that most people, as a bit larger majority, could appreciate and respect lucha stuff, or cruiserweights, over hardcore wrestling.
I would agree.
Which I think hardcore wrestling has a smaller audience, but just a more vocal audience, like on the internet or whatever. Okay. But maybe not anymore, because it's not like 10 years ago. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, and then he says, great to see you guys made it to 1,000. Thank you.
Super awesome.
Now, Hardcore Wrestling 77
says, we shouldn't have said all that stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Question, why didn't you answer my last question? And congrats. Alright, Hardcore Wrestling 77 says, what do you think about NXT? Only judge it if you watch it, and don't judge old NXT, judge the present NXT. Well, I don't watch it, so I'm out.
Okay, so old NXT, well, you don't want me to talk about it, but new NXT is awesome. I watch it. And it's like having your own show for the different roster that hasn't come up yet.
Is that the one that they showed before the show that we went to live that was yellow?
Yes.
I have seen it.
You've seen one episode.
And I did like it.
And when I saw AJ, I was like, look, it's AJ. She's awesome. And you were like, yeah, she's pretty cool.
It was a cool show. So I can say something. I liked the one episode I saw.
I like it. It's different from Sunday Night Heat, and it gives the younger guys a chance to shine for the future.
Yeah, because I saw Primo and Epico versus the Usos.
Yep.
And they're both on regular TV now.
Yeah, at the time they weren't, so.
Okay. Cyberwolf 9000 says, if TNA got bought out by WWE, what do you think they'd do with the talent? I think they'd get rid of them all.
Well, you'd put guys that you haven't put in the Hall of Fame, and yeah, I mean, you would use a lot of the footage, in DVDs.
No, but it said guys. We're not talking about product. It said guys.
Oh, what are we going to do with the guys?
With the talent.
I mean, I guess the younger guys, you're just going to have to be like, oh, well, they're TNA guys. We'll just call it the cruiserweights and have cruiserweight matches, with the younger,
and then all the guys,
smaller guys
that were already WWE rejects, which is like 3/4 of their roster, right?
Well,
would just be gone because they've already been rejected, like Rob Van Dam and Kurt Angle and.
Well, with Rob Van Dam and people like that and Kurt Angle, what you'd have to do,
Matt Hardy,
Matt Hardy's not there anymore. But what you would have to do, like realistically,
he was so bad he couldn't even be a TNA.
Yeah, with those people is you're gonna have to bring them in and drug test them, because
and then they'll fail.
Well,
and
probably.
And then they'll be rejected again.
I know, but I'm just saying, first things first.
Okay.
We'll take drug tests. If they're clean, well, maybe they can do some things here and there, or maybe they can go in the Hall of Fame. Like Kurt Angle, he could go in the Hall of Fame. I know, he's fallen so far, but I mean, it is kind of soon, but
I don't know.
I think if that didn't,
of it would be like, you're fired.
I mean, I think if they came in, it would, because all right, they had the entire WCW, right? And when they did the invasion, like 3 or 4 guys stuck around. I mean, you know, like realistically, I mean, that's what it seems like to me anyways. Maybe the numbers are a little bit more. But, you know, overall, the product didn't seem to have that much an impact. In Impact Wrestling, they're going to have even less of an impact.
Okay.
Because, yeah, less people, less interesting, less known.
Right. Alright. King Ramses 1017.
Ramses is the best.
I know, I was just fixing to do that. Ramses' muscles are the best. Ramses.
I wonder,
What?
it'd be kind of awkward if he's never seen that movie.
That would be kind of awkward. That's on Nacho Libre. No one's ever seen it. But, or we don't know what I'm talking about.
It's about wrestling.
It's about wrestling. It's about a monk. He's a monk, right? Who wrestles.
He's not a monk. They're like Catholic or something. I don't know.
And he's not like a priest because he wears a. I don't know.
He's the cook.
I know, but he's still like a monk because remember he says before we take our vows of chastity, it would be if we hadn't taken our vows, we could have lots of niños.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, we don't remember. It's about wrestling. It's really funny. Okay, he says, if you had to trade any of the TNA superstars, if you watch it, who would it be? Also, sorry about the uppercase T. The lowercase one isn't working. That was interesting.
So he needs a new keyboard.
Apparently so.
Well.
Maybe he spilled something sticky on the T.
Happens. Alright. So.
I spilled chocolate milk on my keyboard once.
You did. So, you know, I don't watch TNA. I used to watch it, and I haven't watched it probably over a year. I know, it's sad. I've seen a thing here or there, but I mean, I would still want Velvet Sky. I'm sure that she's still hot. And, you know, I mean, there's some younger guys, like, you know, I don't know.
Doesn't trade mean to get rid of?
No, trade. I guess trade an WWE guy for a TNA guy.
That's not how I'm interpreting it, because like in baseball, or like in baseball or football, when you trade a player, that means they're gone. You got rid of them and replaced them with someone else.
Yeah,
right?
I mean...
Because when they say he got traded, that means that he's no longer on the team that he was.
Well, I know, yeah, but I'm putting it like the way wrestling term is, as a WWE guy would go to TNA, TNA guy would go to WWE.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, I'm not going to get into that. I don't watch it, and I don't want to just throw names out there.
Okay. Bro Rush is King says, what do you think about Chris Hero?
2 kings in a row.
That's right. What do you think about Chris Hero?
I think he's got a bright future.
I don't know who Chris Hero is.
Well, he's a guy that looks like me, apparently. But, I think he's got a bright future, and, I like the fact that, you know, like, one time, you know, he wasn't taking his, like, appearance too seriously, and he was a little bit on the pudgy side, and then got serious, got in shape. Now he's hired to WWE, and he seems to have a lot of potential, and I am hoping to see him in the next couple of months coming into the main roster. He's got long blonde hair.
Okay.
And yeah.
Cool.
I hope he doesn't get a stupid name.
Well,
well, actually, he already has a name. He's Cassius Ono, and he does KOs.
That's a stupid name.
Yeah, it's alright.
New Swag 1000 says.
New swag.
New swag, not newswag. Got it. Says.
Your cat won't stop growling. Can I
I'm
let
sorry.
her go in there?
No.
Audio.
Fine.
Well, I don't want disruptions.
Poor cat. He'll live forever.
She's tormented by the other cats. She's a wuss. Alright, continue.
Alright, anyways, who are your Who are your favorite top 10 talkers on the mic?
Alright, so
you go first.
I made a list.
Actually, I made a list.
Well, I thought of them, and then you wrote them down. Now,
and I will give my comments, because I don't think I have 10.
Now, you know, a lot of times when people say this, they mean people like wrestlers who hold a microphone inside of the ring doing promos, but I'm going to include anyone who's ever held a mic, because they're best on the mic, right?
Okay, yes.
Number 1, my number 1 most favorite is... I'm not going to say it. Alright, for real. I was gonna make a joke, but
You're not going to?
I'm not gonna make a joke. I'm gonna be serious.
Alright, be serious.
This is not in any particular order. I got Roddy Piper, Stone Cold.
Go slower so I can make comments. That's a good one.
Stone Cold.
That's a good one.
The Rock.
Definitely have to agree with that.
Vince McMahon.
Definitely have to agree with that.
Bobby Heenan.
Really hadn't heard of that person until you put him on the list.
Well, I mean, you are a new fan. I can give you that. Ric Flair.
Haven't heard him talk enough to know.
Gene Okerlund.
I would agree with that.
But how can you heard of Gene Okerlund, but you hadn't heard of
Because Gene Okerlund's on all the commentaries. Like the documentaries and stuff, he's always on there.
I guess that's true.
And he has the cool voice.
Bobby Heenan hasn't been because he's had the cancer and everything, but...
Yeah, so I mean, I just didn't know him.
Paul Heyman.
Never heard him talk that much. I know who he is.
Hulk Hogan.
You gotta be kidding me.
Effective on the microphone.
Brother, brother, do Rena Center, brother. Rena Center, brother.
Okay.
Rena Center, brother. No, that's awful.
Well, I mean...
No, he's awful. His promos are awful. He just says brother 16 times.
I know, but they're effective.
But it's awful.
Okay, I'll give you that his promos aren't like as deep as these other guys, and he doesn't have the range. So, I mean, I get that.
He says brother.
Okay, please stop saying that.
Alright, I will.
Anyways, like, he's effective. So, I mean, it is a little bit different because I don't know if that constitutes as good. I mean, that's part of his gimmick, and, like, I don't know what else he could do, but, I mean, yeah. But it's hard to name top 10 ever, so I'm going to have to put Hogan on there.
Okay.
Because of that. And Shawn Michaels.
I would agree with that, definitely.
Which...
What?
Well, I was going to say, but early in his career...
He wasn't very good.
Not very good.
But I would add, as a newer fan, I would add maybe Chris Jericho.
I just can't...
I enjoy listening to him.
I can't...
I like to listen to him every time he talks, so I...
And I might even replace Shawn Michaels with The Undertaker.
Really?
During his, Respect Me days. Because, man, he was quick. He was really good, actually.
See, I hadn't really heard that. I've only heard him do the Dead Man, which is not all about, it's not about talking, so...
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah. But, and then I might also say, as a new fan, maybe Michael Cole.
He is incredibly good on the microphone, even though he is incredibly obnoxious.
But he's good.
But, I mean, he is good. Like, he could actually work for a company, like, as a talker.
Yeah.
Because he's smooth. Now, I know a lot of people hate Michael Cole to death, but, I mean, you gotta admit...
He's a great talker.
He is smooth talking. I mean, they hired him for his speaking ability.
Exactly.
Because he was in an interview. They hired him for that sole purpose.
And he's good. And then I might add...
And he's been around since 1998? Or 7?
That's a while. He used to be skinny. It's weird.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't even recognize
Frosty
him when I
top.
saw him in the old videos. But, and then maybe The Miz, like when he was doing his Money in the Bank, it was good.
Way. I mean,
but not,
it was good, but not top 10 ever.
Probably not top 10 ever. I just thought about him. But then I might have to include John Cena.
He is pretty good.
Because he's good.
But, yeah.
So maybe John Cena, Michael Cole, and Chris
Like, once
Jericho.
again, like, I can't get into anything he does.
But I can.
But, I can see where you see that.
Yeah. So I would say maybe to replace the people I said no to, I would say like John Cena, Michael Cole, and...
And, I don't think I have Triple H on my list, do I?
You do not.
It's because Triple H, I don't know, man.
I don't like his promo style that much. He's effective and he's good.
He's good, but he ain't top 10.
To me, he doesn't have, like, extra
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't,
skills.
like, soar over the promos, with, like, The Rock does or whatever.
Yeah.
I will check the time.
Alright, you check the time.
We need a timekeeper. We got 7 minutes.
A timekeeper. Okay.
Actually, we got, like, 17 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
I'll check it again.
Okay, you check it again.
No, I mean, I will check it in, like, 10
Okay.
minutes.
You can scoot back and sit back here with me, You don't have to sit, like, a foot in front of me. I'm just saying. Alright, Taker is awesome, says.
Taker is awesome.
Why do you say that every time?
Because this is what it sounds like.
Number 1, Crystal. Is the reason why you dislike Randy Orton because of the AWOL is because you come from a military family? Now, this is a good question. No one's ever asked me, like, my deep reason for my, like, real hatred of the AWOL thing. And I guess technically I do come from a military family. Like, kind of. Like, not really. But my dad, actually, I have a really old dad. He's 87.
Woo!
87, and yes, he is my actual dad.
He's old.
But anyway...
So you know what that means? He's a World War II veteran.
I was just about to say that.
Oh, okay.
He fought in World War II, and he did, like, bring me up with the, those old values where you respect and you love your country, and, he has all that stuff, and I have a lot of respect for him. And what he did... And so I guess, but it's not like he got out right after World War II.
Right.
Because, fun fact, he actually wanted to stay in, and he wanted to be a chaplain. But they would not let him for some unknown reason.
What's a chaplain?
The preacher in the army.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was.
But, okay. But anyways, they wouldn't let him because of some weird reason, which he got really mad because he's like, you know, you drafted me when I didn't want to go, and then when I did want to stay, you told me I couldn't. But anyway, so he left. But, so I didn't grow up with that, but I kind of did. But I guess so that's probably part of it, but the other reason...
So, like you're saying, like, technically your family is rooted in military, but I mean, he got out of the military in 1945.
Yeah, so I wasn't even considered ever.
Yeah.
So
that was like...
I mean, he was in the military, but I'm not like from a military family where I had all the issues with like parents
moving around
and all that.
Yeah, he was out of the war in 1945.
Yeah, and I have several nephews that are in the military now.
Yeah.
But anyways, beyond all that, that's probably got to do with some of it, I'm sure, just because like growing up with that kind of mentality.
Yeah.
I guess. But just the main reason is that it just makes me mad because people just ignore that and they act like he's a super great guy and he's like a hero and they do the stupid...
On their DVD.
Yeah, I know. They do the wrestling promos like, who's a hero? And it shows a picture of him in his military uniform.
On Memorial Day, on WWE.com, the cover photo was Randy Orton in front of an American flag.
And that just makes me mad because to me it's like lying.
I mean,
like
they should have used the picture of him flipping off the American flag when he went AWOL.
Exactly. And then what really bothers me is because, I mean, because I know, like, some of how the military works. It's like you can be AWOL just because you're, like, late or something and you're not there, which that I could see, like, more understandable. But he just was like, I don't want to do this anymore, and left.
He went home. And they explained that on the DVD and presented it as it was okay. Because they're like, I got hazed, and they treated me bad. So I went home to my mommy and daddy's house.
Of course they treated you bad. You were in boot camp.
Yeah,
really?
Well, this was after boot camp, and they still treated him bad. And he didn't like that, so he went home.
Well, boo-hoo. You shouldn't... I mean, it's just... I mean, and that particular quality makes me mad in anybody for anything. Like,
this is something everyone watching has to understand. You don't get that many chances with you.
Oh, no.
Because if you flaw, if you do something like that and you fail like that, there is a flaw to you in their personality.
Yes.
So that is him. That's him shining through because he went AWOL. That's part of his personality. It's like part of him.
Yes.
It will never go away. And that's
Thank
the way
you for explaining that. Yeah, because to me, that's like a basic character flaw that a lot of people have that drives me insane. And it's that, oh, well, I'm going to start something and then it's a little bit unpleasant, so I'm just going to leave. And it makes me so mad. It's like you just have to get it out.
Is that, do you think, the exact same character flaw that has put him in the position that he is right now with the multiple drug violations?
Yeah.
And
like, I can't deal with this tiny little thing in my life, so I'm going to go do something stupid. And now I'm mad because I'm in trouble for it. It's like that. It's like never getting out of that mentality of being like a spoiled little kid. Yeah. You know, it's like you never had to grow up. And it extra bothers me because so many people have this problem. And there's just so many people just walking around that as soon as something mildly unpleasant happens, they just quit and go home to their mom. Yeah. Or dad. Or grandma. Or whatever. Or just go home to themselves. They just quit and go home.
Because, I mean, that's where Randy Orton is right now. And apparently from backstage reports, if we can consider that true, he is having major problems and they want to get rid of him. They want to fire him.
I'm sure he's a jerk backstage. Like, he is such... Like I never liked him because I looked at him one time. Remember, I saw him that one time, and I was like, douchebag.
I mean, if you're a really, really good judge of character, you can look at people, and I mean, I'm the same way. I can look at somebody and be like, nah, I don't trust them.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, it's just, I just don't like that part of his personality. I don't like people like that. I think that's a big problem of what's wrong with the world today, and it's just that whole thing.
So overall, even though you might have some sympathetic feelings towards the military, it has nothing to do with the military. It's just the fact that he would do something so dumb.
But I would say...
disrespectful and traitorous.
Part of it is because it's very disrespectful to me. To me, like, if you're... Like, I can't speak too much on this because I'm not in the military and never have been. But I just think, like, in my mind... But I have friends that have and family. But, like, in my mind... I just think that if you're going to be in the military, that needs to be a commitment for you. And really, like, if you're going to do any
like it's
job,
like a marriage, you know,
yeah, but
like
like
in the military.
Yeah, I mean, really, like, if you're going to do any job, you need to be committed to that and, like, try to do your best.
Yeah.
But, like, especially if you're going to do something, like, that important and that, like, big of a part of our culture and stuff, like you
defending the entire country.
like, it doesn't matter, like, how small your part is in it. I'm just saying, like, that needs to be something that means something to you.
Because if everybody had the attitude of Randy Orton,
our military would suck.
Worse than it could have,
and I mean,
or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to knock the military, I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I know the military gets a lot of bad rap, but a lot of it's not. Like, they're just doing what the government tells them. That's not their fault.
Yeah, I mean, it's orders.
Yeah, but that's just sort of like a thought. So, yeah, part of it is the military things, but a lot of it is that it's just a character flaw.
All right.
So I hope I thoroughly explained that. You have a question from him.
Okay.
He also wants to know, Chronix, how did you and your friend come up with that song, Naked? My friend listened to it and could not stop laughing.
Okay.
I actually don't even know what song that he's talking about.
So, me and my friend, alright, so, how did we come up with the song?
Yeah.
Well, alright, I'll give you a little bit of backstory. Me and him, like, did backyard wrestling back in the day, and then we started doing comedy and stuff, like, in 2006 on my original channel, and, you know, we was trying to get it going, and it never went anywhere. And we actually, you know, we went to wrestling events, we were both big wrestling fans, and we actually had a falling out in, like, 2007, and I haven't really talked to him until we did that song. Like, he contacted me, he's like, hey, check this song out. He did the beat, he sang it, he did everything but the bass line. And I was like, man, that's actually kind of cool. So I took it and I just played a bass line on it, and I was like, well, I'll upload it on my channel, you know, on that damn Suicide channel. And I put it up, and, you know, of course not that many people saw it, but I'm glad that you liked it and thought it was funny, because I thought it was funny too. That's why I laid that bass track on it. But yeah, so
cool.
I had nothing to do with the writing the song. I just put a bass track on it.
Okay. Well, good questions.
But yeah, we actually made songs like that together back in the early days, like 2004 and stuff. So we actually recorded a lot of songs where I sang and he did raps and I did death metal stuff, and I mean, but those are all locked away in a vault somewhere, so sorry.
Alright. So, the wrestling show says, where did you get the opening Scream audio from?
From my electric guitar.
It is not actually a Scream.
No.
Fun fact, somebody asked us that every single Q&A.
Yes.
There's no problem with that, but I'm just
Once
saying.
again, that is part of a song, which I've explained this in the last Q&A, but it's part of a song I wrote that
He might be new. We don't want to sound like we're getting mad at him or anything.
Well, I know, but he probably just needs to see the video. He's not new. I mean, I know who that is, but it was like a guitar riff that I couldn't get to go anywhere. At the beginning of the video, it goes, you know, dun 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 dun, and it's like the guitar squeal. And I thought it sounded cool, so I found a place for it to go. Actually, when the title goes away, that actually is a scream by me. It just, you know, it does that little, and it goes away.
Yeah.
So,
alright.
There you go.
He also would like to know, do you guys enjoy any oldie music like jazz or blues?
I like some blues. I'm not a big jazz fan, to be honest, but I love all oldies music from the 50s, 60s, and early 70s.
I like
and I mean,
oldies.
You probably know that from some of the videos that I've done. I use a lot of oldie tracks.
I like oldies music a lot. I'm not a big fan of jazz, and I'm not a big fan of blues. Like, Chronix kind of likes blues, but I really don't like it at all. Like, honestly, like, if I had to pick, I would pick jazz.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on, like, what kind of jazz.
Yeah, I mean, there's some.
Because to me, there's, like, two kinds of jazz. There's, like, slow jazz that they, like, played in clubs in the 1930s or something. And then there's, like, fast jazz, and I like the faster variety. Yeah. And I don't know enough about jazz to speak on the different types, but to me, like, that's where they fall.
I just like playing it on bass. I mean,
yeah.
I don't like so much listening to it as much, but it is fun to play, you know, and all that stuff.
Alright, so now, BigFilt86 says, Crystal, who are some other wrestlers that you dislike besides Randy Orton? There is quite a long list.
Yeah,
I don't like Mick Foley because of many reasons that I say a lot of times, because he's never done anything and he's not a wrestler, he just falls and he's an idiot. That'd be a summary.
Oh, boy.
I don't like... Help me out, babe. Who else don't I like?
Who do you not like?
I do
like
not.
everybody.
I mean, I don't like CM Punk doing his current thing.
Yeah.
I like him as a heel. I just don't like him right now.
I can't really think of any people off the top of my head.
I'm having trouble. Like, there's a bunch. I'm just not. I don't like Hulk Hogan. I don't like.
You don't like the Hardy. You don't like Lita.
I don't
do you?
like the Hardy Boys. I don't like Lita.
Is it? Do you
I
not
don't
like Lita
know.
because she cheated like on Matt?
Kind of, yeah.
And like even though you don't like Matt, it's still she shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, remember we had the talk about how you don't get chances with me and you character flaws and you're done? Yeah.
So pretty much anybody who's ever done anything incredibly stupid,
Like, real bad. But Lita, I don't like passionately dislike her. I just think her looks are overrated. So, I mean, she's probably not even on my list. Because she only did that one stupid thing. I can handle one stupid thing. 'Cause, I mean, even Edge cheated on his wife.
Yeah.
So, like, I can deal with, like, a couple of dumb mistakes. But, I don't like Kurt Angle. I don't like, who else don't I like?
You just don't like anybody who's, like, been a drug addict for a while, do you?
But, I mean, it depends. Like, I like Shawn Michaels. He was
Well,
a drug
yeah.
addict forever, but he turned himself around.
But that's not a character flaw to you?
It is, but he fixed it. And there's something to be said for fixing it.
You can't say that Randy Orton's kind of
You
suspended.
know, like, to me there's something to be said for overcoming. Like, that's even better. Like, if you overcome.
So if I was a drug addict and then I overcame, I'd be a better person than I am right now?
Well, probably not. But I'm
No.
just saying... I mean, not necessarily. I'm just saying it like, you know, it's a good thing. You know, I don't really like Bret Hart.
Because, and I'll tell you why. Because every time you see him now, it's like, I was the best. I did the best match I could that was the best match I ever did. I was part of the best tag team. I mean, he thinks really highly of himself.
Yeah, no kidding.
He really does. Like,
And
I think I heard him
blames-
say one time if he could still wrestle, he could have a better match than anybody currently contracted in WWE or something like that. I mean, it was crazy.
Every time I hear him speak, he just makes me mad. Because he's just like,
I really
I'm
like
so
Bret Hart.
awesome, and then he blames all of his problems on somebody else.
What?
He never ever says, like, in that whole DVD, and like, I
Sent
like...
to us by effing True Wrestling.
That's right. The whole time I watched that, it reminded me why I didn't like him. Because, okay,
Go, you can talk.
because the entire time, he said he was awesome, he said he was great, he said he was the best ever, he said that no one was ever better than him, that it was unfair that he ever had to... Stop it! You're distracting me! That he,
Easily distracted.
Yes, I am. That it was unfair that he ever had to step down or move out of the spotlight, that he should still be in the spotlight today in 2012. That
He didn't say that.
But he implied it. That he said that he should have never had to step down.
We have to review this
And
at some point.
he said, what else did he say? Oh yeah, he said, like, he basically blamed everything on Shawn Michaels. If Shawn Michaels had come along and they thought he was better than me and he wasn't, like, that was like a large part of his DVD.
Yeah, he kind of did say that. a little bit.
Anyways, but back off my Bret Hart rant. Back to more people I don't like. Whoa, cat's going crazy.
I mean, that's okay. If you can't think of anybody, you
I
don't
don't-
just sit
yeah.
around and just be like...
Oh, we don't want to sit around and think of who I don't like. I don't like
No.
Yoink the Clown.
Why?
Because it's so stupid.
That's-
It's a clown.
You don't like his gimmick.
Okay, well, that's
He's a
true.
really good wrestler.
Well, I don't know because I never can tell who it is.
It's the same guy.
But it could be different guys.
It's not. That's one of those stupid rumors.
Okay. Alright, I guess that's all that I can really think of, you know, like right off the top of my head.
You know, there's a lot of people that really, truly believe that there were multiple Kanes and multiple
Really? Oh.
Undertakers.
That's another one. Kane, I do not like Kane.
Why?
Because he's so boring. In his gimmick, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute. I don't like it. And I
You
don't
just-
like his wrestling style.
Yeah, you just had to be there for the
I
earlier
just don't
days.
like it. But
saying.
anyways, so he also wants to know, Chronics, which one of your favorite WWE, WCW, and ECW matches of all time?
Holy crap.
Probably should have let you know about that one too.
Yeah, you probably should have let me think about that
My
one.
bad.
Favorite matches of all time? I mean, off the top of my head, Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle from WrestleMania. You know, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels in the Iron Man match. You know, Bret Hart and Stone Cold where he bled WrestleMania 13. I mean, there's like a million. And then Taz and Kurt Angle is a random one that I just absolutely love. But, you know, for different reasons. But yeah,
Okay.
that's all the time we have for this video.
Okay.
Ah!
Okay, so we're back. And now, Eddie Delga.
Eddie Delga from Dallas.
214 from Dallas. Used to be close to us, but
Not
so much
anymore.
anymore. He says, why you guys moved? Which, this made me laugh because I don't know, but, like, you know on iFunny, the why you know guy, it made me think of that. If you don't guys mind me asking, so we don't mind you asking. We moved because I graduated from college and got a job up here. And we moved.
Yep.
To go to the job. Alright. And do you think Batista or Lesnar will be coming back? Batista, no way.
I don't know, there's been a lot of rumors, but I don't see...
They'd be dumb to let him come back.
I don't get that. I don't know. I don't understand why everybody loves Batista. Because, like, it's like the same fans...
He's Mason Ryan. They're the same person, basically. They look the same.
Well, I just don't get why people want him back. I just don't understand why the same fans that are like, CM Punk rules and Brock Lesnar rules and, you know, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. I also want Batista back. I'm like, that doesn't match. Why do you like Batista? I don't understand. I mean, he was cool, but I just don't understand.
I mean, I guess Lesnar's going to come back at some point, right?
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, definitely Brock Lesnar. But I just can't understand why people really like Batista.
Do you think he's coming back, though?
I just don't think so. I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Okay. I actually wouldn't be surprised either, because I'm always like, there's no use these bringing these people back, and then they bring them back anyways, and then nothing happens, like Brock Lesnar. Anyways. WWE Titantron man says,
hey man, hook me up with all them videos that you got back there. Titantron man?
Oh, he's got a lot of videos?
Well, you know, the Titantron guy. The Titantron, the big screen, the music entrances.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, jokes.
Ha ha ha. He says, how do you feel about the No Way Out pay-per-view?
Nah, it feels like another pay-per-view.
Yeah, same here. Are there any other pay-per-views you would like to see return? Isn't there one you always say you wish would come back? King of the Ring?
Of the Ring.
Yeah.
I mean, it is cool that No Way Out is back. I mean, the last No Way Out that I really remember was 2001? No, 2002. The one where NWO came back. You know. It was funny because it's called No Way Out.
And it was NWO. That's funny. That's funny.
But yeah, that was a cool pay-per-view.
Alright, so anyways. Okay. Kyle9965 says, number 1, favorite Mania that's not 17. Why that? Is everyone's favorite Mania 17?
Yep.
Okay. Is it your favorite Mania?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what's the one that's not 17? Why is 17 special? What happened?
Well, that was Stone Cold and The Rock. That was Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon.
Okay.
That was the hardcore match that kind of went the wrong way. And then they had the Gimmick Battle Royal.
Okay.
You know, there was a whole lot of stuff.
Alright, well,
but
what's your one that's not?
And it was the end of the Attitude Era.
Oh, that's that one. That's all you had to say, and I would have known what you're talking about.
Okay. But, 20, I think, or 22.
What happened on it?
I'll get the DVD.
Oh, you're going to get the DVD.
I bought this DVD the day it came out.
Boy, you were excited.
Oh.
You never buy stuff the day it comes out.
I know. I'm so freaking cheap. Now, check this out. You have the Money in the Bank. That was alright.
So was it 20 or 22?
I think it was 22.
You're holding the DVD in your hand.
No, I'm saying my favorite. I think it was this one.
Oh, okay.
Booker T and Boogeyman was like the 5-starest match of all... Wait, no, I'm just kidding. No. Oh, it was Mick Foley and Edge in the hardcore match.
That was a 5-star match?
No, I mean, I'm joking. I'm just saying it was like a really cool match. And Mickey James...
got hit with a chair a bunch of times, I bet.
Mickey James and Trish Stratus was a classic of all time. Well, the Undertaker match completely sucked.
It made me sad that Mickey James screwed herself up.
Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon. That's your match.
Yeah, that's the one I like. That's the first WrestleMania No, it's not. First WrestleMania I saw was the one we did John Cena.
Now, we probably watched this before 2007, like, together. We probably watched this, like, in 2005, and I showed it to you.
Oh, well, I meant live.
Well, yeah. I don't know. It's hard for me to say this is the best one, because there's a lot of matches on here that completely suck. But I guess I'm going to go with this one. I can't remember what all happened at 20, to be honest. But that one had to be the one with Kurt Angle and the other guy that I like. You know the match I just said like a while ago is like my favorite match.
Bret Hart?
No, Kurt Angle and oh my god, I can't remember. Oh, Shawn Michaels.
Oh.
Yeah,
oh, I've seen
but I can't remember the other matches.
That was
so
a good match.
I can't. And oh, I have it on VHS. No wonder it's not over there.
Oh
But,
my goodness.
but yeah,
He has it on VHS.
I recorded it live from the pay-per-view.
Illegal.
Against the rules. Yeah, I know.
Okay. Number 2. This is a you question as well. Favorite games and game systems.
Favorite wrestling games?
Yeah.
All right.
And systems.
I mean, it does say wrestling games.
No, it doesn't say wrestling
Oh.
games. I would have said wrestling.
Okay.
Favorite games and game systems.
All right. So
My favorite game is Yoshi.
Yeah. But
Super Mario Brothers.
you know, over here, like right here, hooked up right now, I have a Dreamcast, an Xbox, a GameCube, an N64, an Atari 2600, and 2700, a Saturn, a Genesis, a PS3, and a Wii.
And tell everyone where you got the Atari, because I like this story.
In the trash can.
He brought home the trash can.
It had a ton of. It had 3 Ataris, 20 games, and yeah, it was in the trash can.
You just have to imagine, like, girls, like, this is for you. I'm sitting in the floor, like, I don't know, I think I was folding laundry or something, and here comes Chronix through the front door carrying a trash can, all proud and happy, going, look what I got! And I was like, it's a trash can.
And I got all my 1998
But it
action
was cool.
figures that I have, and all my N64 games and well, not the system. I bought the system separate, I think, but the games and accessories I got for free from my friend who was throwing them away.
So from the trash can.
Another trash
basically.
can save.
I mean, that's cool. I'm not, like, opposed to that. It was just really funny.
But yeah, I have a PS2
To
as
me.
well. But my
What's your
favorite
favorite?
wrestling game is SmackDown 2.
What's your favorite game?
Probably SmackDown 2. And I have all the SmackDown
What's your
games.
favorite game system?
I don't know. That's a hard one. Maybe the Dreamcast?
I figured it would be because you're obsessed with the Dreamcast.
I am. I love
You talk
the
about it
Dreamcast.
all the time.
Dreamcast. It would have beat
But-
the PS2. It just didn't happen.
He does say that.
I do say that. It had better graphics. It had better potential than the PlayStation 2.
But yeah, but see, what's weird though is like from your description of all your game systems, like people are gonna think you're a big gamer,
I'm not.
but you're not. You only play like wrestling games and other like
Sonic the
random games,
Hedgehog.
Sonic games.
Yeah, Sonic 3 is
But
probably
we
one of my
just-
favorite games.
We just have to have all the systems
Sonic and Knuckles.
so that he can play all the games in the whole series. That's what it is.
The wrestling games.
Yes, and the Sonic games because you play those old Sonic games too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I literally own a Dreamcast, so I can play, like, Royal Rumble 2000, even though it sucks, and Sonic Adventure.
Mhm.
Sonic Adventure is probably one of my favorite games ever.
Okay.
And Sonic 3
actually,
and Knuckles and all that
The
stuff,
Genesis
too.
was mine.
It was. No, I have one. I have a Genesis 3.
Oh, and I have a Genesis.
You have a
I
Genesis
had a
2.
Genesis.
No, you still have it. It's right there.
Ooh.
Yeah. So not everybody knows what a Genesis 2 and 3 are, but I have a 3 and she has a 2, and there's a 1, but we never
The
had
2
one.
was given to me as my first video game system when I was like 14, so it was way outdated even then.
Here's a quick technical fact. You can put a Sega CD and a 32X on a Genesis 2, but not a 3. A 3 is 6 inches wide, and it does nothing but play Genesis games.
Okay.
And it came out, yeah, I bought it in 1998 for $20 at the store.
Okay. Then he says, congrats on your 1,000. It's supposed to say subs, but it says suds, so that made me laugh a little bit.
Made me think of SpongeBob.
It did. But okay. So,
So I got the suds.
typo is funny. Alright, actually it's probably autocorrect. I bet it would do that. Anyways, EMCY says, what's your favorite wrestling mask of all time?
Man, that's a hard one.
I don't know. Maybe one of Rey Mysterio's
Man, all his
masks?
masks are the same. You know, I don't even know.
And to be fair, I warned you about this one.
Oh, I forgot
And you came up with an answer.
I did, but now I can't remember.
But I can remember it. You said Kane.
Oh, the original Kane. Yeah, and
But
I
you
mean,
weren't real enthusiastic about it.
yeah, and Mick Foley's was pretty cool.
I don't... You know, I don't like masks unless they're on Lucha guys.
Yeah, there's a Lucha guy that is like in my head, and I can't think of his name. Go ahead to the next question.
I'm gonna go. To the
I'm gonna
next
look
question.
on a DVD, and I think he's on there. He's gonna be on.
Okay.
On the one DVD.
I'm not to have dead airtime. I learned that on one of the past videos. So all right, now I'm good. Oh my gosh, I hate those stupid DVDs.
I know he's on here. Oh, Psychosis. There we go. I like his mask the best.
All right, cool.
I know. I haven't brought these out in a Q&A in a while just to upset you.
I know.
Hey, we gotta review these together.
No, we don't. I'll review them if I don't have to watch them again. I've seen them like 4 times, so I should be able to do it off memory.
Okay.
Alright. Anyways. Sneak to Attack says, why are we just...
Go ahead.
You're distracted.
You're so easily distracted.
Crystal, why do women love John Cena? I thought they usually loved unpredictable, funny guys. What kind of women do you know? What women love unpredictable, funny guys?
I don't know.
I just didn't know that women liked unpredictable, funny guys.
I thought that's what they do in the romantic movies, right?
Yeah, but that's no, not really. I guess it depends on the woman. Most people that I know, and like me personally, I don't do the unpredictable, funny guy thing, because like goofy guys just irritate me. But as far as like why women love seeing, there are some girls that like that though, by the way, I just want to throw that out there. As far as why women love John Cena, well, I would say, obviously
he's
muscular.
Attractive, right?
Yeah, he's attractive. He's not like super hot, but he's attractive, he's muscular.
You said you like the way The Miz looks in the face. Do you think that Cena has to look more attractive than The Miz, right?
Okay, I know that, like, on a broad spectrum, like, to most people, yeah, he is, but to me, personally, I like the way The Miz looks better.
Oh my gosh. He's so ugly. What do you think about Bret Hart's looks?
You know what? I think Bret's ugly. But you know what? You think that Lita is just beautiful, and I think she's ugly, so we're just going to have to disagree.
She's hot.
She's ugly in the face. She has
hot
a
in the
square face.
Hot in the face.
Anyways. We're just going to have to disagree.
Round face.
But anyways.
She does not look like me, so therefore I hate.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Strong, muscular, attractive. Also, he plays the hero. Like, he's the guy that stands up to everybody. He, like, rescues everybody. He's, like, strong, and he's dependable, and he's always there. Like, he's that guy.
He's like Captain Kirk.
He's like that guy that's gonna, like, swoop in and rescue you when there's a bad guy, Like, he's
Captain Kirk.
He's that guy. He's not as cool as Captain Kirk.
Not even close.
Even though, if I had to pick from the Star Trek bridge, I like Spock the best.
Spock has kind of a square face,
He's a man. He's supposed to have one.
Oh, man, I set myself up.
Yeah, you did. Good job. But anyways, because, see, I like, because, like, you gotta think, like, Spock was, like, the vampire of the 60s. You gotta think like this. He was from another species.
Yeah.
He had no emotions, like, so you would have to, like, unlock his emotions and bring out his, like, emotional side, which women love that kind of stuff, by the way.
You know what's funny? And I know we're talking about
superpowers.
We're talking about Star Trek, but we have some Star Trek, other people who like Star Trek too, right?
Yeah.
So, alright, so it's funny because, when that series came out, Spock, wasn't supposed to be attractive at all. But, like, Kirk was supposed to be the man who was attractive and in shape, and now you look at him and he looks pudgy because, the 60s had different standards. So now in, like, modern times, like, Kirk doesn't have, like, the sexy guy, like, the look in the face. Now Spock, like, that's what's,
because I'm saying, he's
it's funny, it's like switched.
Yeah, it's switched. And then, like the whole, like, mysterious, supernatural power aspect thing is for him. But anyways, that's why women love John Cena. That's what I would say, anyways. Not like I'm an expert in all women in the entire world, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, like, he's like...
why wouldn't they like him?
Yeah.
He's muscular, he's big, he is, I guess he's funny.
He's like a... he's like idolizing a firefighter or something.
Yeah, and he's got that jaw.
Yeah, and he's a good-looking guy.
Like, I don't see CM Punk as somebody who's going to be like, all the women are going to be like, ooh.
No,
I mean, yeah, the girls who in the future are going to get tattoos and stuff.
I
Yeah,
know,
of course
but,
they're going to like him.
CM Punk just looks like a guy at a gas station. Like, I don't remember who told him that, but they were completely right.
That's
Anyways.
what Triple H said.
Okay, well, he was completely right. Okay. Now, Chronix, what is your most emotionally invested match you have experienced?
I guess that Undertaker match with Triple H at WrestleMania, his third match, at WrestleMania 28? That's what it was. Yeah, 28. So, yeah, and it's not because of the build. It's not because of, circumstances going into the match or anything like that. It was just the match itself. Like, the match and the way it happened
This is the one that I liked, too, right?
Yeah, after the bell rang, I was the most emotionally attached in that one. There's probably been other ones that I've been emotionally attached because of the storyline and the build of promo packages or whatever, but this one, from bell to bell, has to be the number one for me in my book for emotional attachment. Maybe the Shawn Michaels match with with Undertaker.
You know what? I was going to say, that's mine. Because I cried at the end of that match. Was so emotionally invested. Had tears.
I know.
Just saying.
We probably should have some older matches so we don't sound like we just started watching yesterday or something, but hey, it's true. That's the one that I think of.
Okay. So, now, hold on, this guy's question is on. He also said that he loved our show, so thanks.
Awesome.
Alright. Alright, so the Sedgwick23 says, you two are extremely cute together and your banter is highly entertaining.
Our banter.
My wife and I argue the same way over our wrestling. I'm the longtime geek and fan who gets caught up in the details, and she's the outside voice of reason. I wish you the best in the future. Thank you. It's a very nice little intro paragraph. Anyway.
She says, it's just wrestling so many times.
I do say that like a million times. Alright. Anyways, number 1. Are we going to get less updates due to longer Raws and increased chaos in your schedules? Well, right now, actually, both of us have less chaos in our schedules because, for me personally, I am now just going to work instead of going to work and then coming home and doing homework, where I was essentially, like a lot of days, I was essentially working from like 7 in the morning to like 10 or 11 at night because between like work and school. But, so my schedule is just super happy fun time right now because I'm just going, like 8 to 5, like a normal person.
Like a normal person.
Yep. And, your schedule's gotten lighter because you haven't started school yet.
Yep.
So for right now, like it's just going to be like it always has been, like totally normal. As far as the longer Raws, I think the only thing that's going to change is you'll see me saying that I don't know anything about the first hour because I get tired. I can't watch for 3. I don't think I can do for 3 hours. I just don't think I can. So you'll see more of me going, I didn't watch that match or something. That's probably the only difference. But as far as when you start school, that's when things might get different. Because, like, I can do a Raw review by myself. I could. But I can't upload it. I don't know how to do anything that has to do with technically running this channel.
Yeah.
I can't edit. I can't upload. I can't do anything.
That is an interesting concept. Crystal doing a Raw review by herself.
I'm just saying.
It's never been done.
Happen. I know it's gonna have to happen when you start school like that. Because there's gonna be one day that your test is on a Tuesday and you gotta study on Monday night. So... But, like, that's the deal, is because, like, I could do it, but I don't know if he would have time to, put it in there. Or, I mean, maybe we'll have a little learning session and you can teach me how to
Yeah, I'll be like, you pull it off the memory card.
It won't be edited or pretty, but it might be there. So, that's when things are going to get different.
Yeah.
Is when school starts, like in August.
That's life.
That's life. But, so we'll see. We're going to definitely try, though. We're not going to abandon the channel or anything, for sure. So, it's still going to be going. There just might be some differences there. Number 2, for each of you, what is one wrestling thing, angle, wrestler you wish your spouse would admit they were wrong or stubborn about?
I wish you would admit that Mick Foley has talent.
But he doesn't, so I never will.
He is smart.
Not anymore.
He has storytelling ability.
Not anymore.
In the ring and in...
No. He's completely ruined any gifts that he had by, like, hitting himself in the head with a chair and get too many concussions.
Yeah, exactly. I wish you would admit that you were wrong about that.
Okay.
And, yeah. So what about you?
I have to think.
That is a hard question.
Because you're not you're not. You are stubborn, but you're not as stubborn as I am.
I know that. Holy crap.
Yeah.
You are ridiculously stubborn.
I wish. I don't know, because, like, I would say, like, the things that would come to the top of my head. Like, I would say that I wish that you would admit that the old ECW matches really sucked. But you do say that, yeah, you know, they're kind of stupid, and I see your point.
Right,
So
they were heavily edited. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't really say that, because you do admit that that's a falsy thing. And then sometimes I would say, you know, like I would have said, I wish you would admit that Hulk Hogan's speaking skills sucked. But you did say that they kind of sucked. And then I would say that I wish that you would admit that it's just wrestling. But, like, sometimes you get into it, but sometimes you do. So I don't have, like, a big... I wish you'd admit that Lita had a square man face, but you kind of did that earlier. So.
No, I didn't.
You said, but Spock has a square face.
No. It doesn't matter what...
There you go.
Like, you're saying that somebody has to have a perfectly formed face, or there's only a certain way you can look to be beautiful. That's what you're saying. Because if you have a square face, I'm sorry all the girls out there watching this video who might have a square type face, well, I'm sorry, you can't be beautiful because Crystal has a round type face and she's just jealous. That's you.
There you go, that's fine.
Because I know what your problem is. No, I know you. I know. This is what women do. Not all women, but you. You see, like, if I think anyone's hot, they're extra tall, like Stacy Keibler. You can't, like, ew, well, yeah.
Why would you do that?
Or
like,
if
you said you thought that somebody was hot, and I agreed. Like, AJ's really pretty.
Yeah, but she's short like you. If somebody has some quality that you don't have, you get jealous and try to shut them out. That's you. Like, if I found a chick that looked exactly the opposite of you, like, say, you know, she was, like, super tall, and she was much darker than you, Miss Seamus over here, and, you know, you would get all kinds of jealous. And she had a little bit different proportions, you would be like, she's ugly. She looks like a man. That's what men look like. Ugh. She's like, ugh. So you would say.
Okay. So there's your answer. Alright.
Her butt is too big. Oh my gosh. It's you.
I don't even talk like that. I do not go, oh my gosh, look at that. I do not talk like that.
You sound just like Kelly
No,
Kelly.
I don't. Anyways, moving along. Alright. Cody Rhodes champ 2012
Maybe.
has, I mean, that would be cool, has 3 questions, so let's see, I'm going to pick 2 because I forgot to consult with Chronix about which ones he would want to answer. So, let's go with, how do you guys feel when Randy Orton always starts a promo with, my name is Randy Orton? We complain about that so much.
Because it's so stupid.
I hate that. I hate that. A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stupid.
It is dumb.
Who says that? Okay, which one, look real quick, which one of these 2 do you want to answer?
I guess the second one.
Number 2? That's what I thought too. Okay. Who do you think is going to be defeated first? Brodus Clay, Lord Tensai, or Ryback? Tensai.
Tensai just lost on Monday night.
Oh, that's true. Maybe that's why I innately said that.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe we should answer the other one because that wasn't really fair.
Alright, whatever.
Just because it wasn't fair. We're not bending the rules, it just wasn't fair because it was time sensitive. Do you think Daniel Bryan should turn face?
Not now. I think that he should have when he started, I don't know. I think that he should have when he was doing the yes thing because they were trying to control the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't think they could have really, and they didn't. But I think it would have been better for him to be a face with the yes chance.
Because now people are starting to say no.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, you start getting cold after a whole second. Not like he was, you know, in the beginning. But yeah, I mean, and he will go face at some point once the whole AJ thing's out of the way. Because see, since they had AJ like interjected, it's not like they can just turn him like that.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
will
I'm sure he
eventually.
will in the future, yeah. Alright, DSS6 has an interesting question.
Interesting question.
Very interesting. He has two, but they're similar. Number one, if you were stuck in a gymnasium with 200 5-year-olds, all given 1 day of training of hand-to-hand combat, from hand-to-hand combat experts who will train them specifically to team up to take down one adult, how many could you beat up before they finally took you down? Rules. No weapons, no protective gear except you get a cup. The kids are motivated enough not to get scared. When a kid gets knocked unconscious, they're out. When you get knocked unconscious, you lose.
Do we get any weapons?
No weapons.
Okay.
No, yeah, because if you had a baseball bat, you just whack them out of the way.
Alright, so... okay, if they are trained to work together...
They have 1 day of training.
Okay.
But they're 5. 5-year-olds don't train well.
But they don't get scared, though.
But they don't get scared.
1 day of training... Like, if they had a month...
They don't have a month, they have
But
1
see,
day.
but 1 day, I think I could take out probably... at least 10. But, like, 1 day of training? Yeah, I don't think that they could retain any of that information.
Probably not, because they're 5.
I think with my... if I could knock them out with my fist and stuff, I probably could go through 25.
You think 25?
I think so. Like, just
I mean,
1 day of training.
5-year-olds are pretty strong.
But 5-year-olds are... I could take out 5-year-olds.
Yeah, but I mean, they're still little.
They hadn't even get in kindergarten.
They're just getting into kindergarten.
But if they could work... if they actually could work together and they were effective, I probably only could get maybe 5. You know?
Yeah.
Before they kill me?
But knock you unconscious.
Yeah, before they
No
knock me
one's
unconscious,
dead here.
definitely.
I mean, I would think I could maybe run through maybe like 10, like at the very most.
Because, I mean, even like you gotta imagine, like, they're coming at you. You can, like, you know, before they even get to you, you have to reach. So you can be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can get at least 5.
I would say I could
like,
get 5 at
anybody
least.
could get 5 before they just clobber you.
Kitty's about to do something really bad.
Yeah, should be
Okay.
right.
Alright, yeah.
Kitty?
Maybe 10, I would think.
With no weapons, you know.
No weapons would be hard. And then, but you should be, like, faster and more agile
Yeah,
than a
but
5-year-old.
yeah, but they're gonna surround you,
That's true.
and then they're just gonna, you know,
True.
and you ain't gonna be able to go nowhere. That's what I'm saying.
200
Like when they're
That's
like
true, because we're stuck in the gymnasium.
when they're got a circle around you, you can, but you know, you ain't gonna. They're gonna get you real fast.
Okay. Alright. Number 2. If you were in a battle royal to the death, so now we're dying, we're not just
To
getting
the
knocked
death.
unconscious, we're dying,
Battle Royal.
that took place inside of a Home Depot, and each participant got to choose one item in the store to use as a weapon. Which item would you choose and why?
It's a very good question, but I don't think of any weapon that would be better than a chainsaw.
You know, look, I was thinking that too, but chainsaws don't come with the chains on them. So if you grab one off the
No, they
floor,
come with one in the package.
but you can't just pick them up and they work, right?
No.
So that's what I'm saying. You're in the Home Depot, so unless
Okay.
you had time to unwrap the chainsaw and fix it, it wouldn't work.
That's true.
I would pick that too if I had time to unwrap the chainsaw and fix it, but I'm assuming that you just gotta grab something.
And you know, you could get a weed eater or something that was like really powerful, but you don't have the gas in it.
Right.
So you're
And you
just going to
can't
have to
get
get a
something-
blunt object.
Yeah, because you can't get something with a plug.
You can't get an air
because it
tool.
would move. Shovel.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to go with a pickaxe or an axe. You can
Yeah,
pick up an
that's true.
axe in Walmart.
That's true.
They have them in Walmart.
That's true. They're kind of crappy, but yeah.
Yeah, I would get a medium to light axe because you're going to have to knock some heads off with this thing, so you don't want to get the biggest one. And I mean, a smaller one's effective enough to kill somebody, so I would go with the axe.
You know, I think I'm going to stick with my shovel because an axe gets stuck in people.
That
you
is
know?
true.
You hit an axe in a block of wood, then you got to work for a second to get it
Yeah,
out.
I mean, you don't want to get it stuck in somebody's cranium.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Will you sit down and angrily cross your arms? Okay.
Not angry.
Angry. Not angry. Angry.
Stop!
The Undertaker 112789 says, if you were at any WrestleMania moment, which one would it be?
Okay, WrestleMania moments. WrestleMania 17 also is, of course, for me, is going to bring up a lot of them. I like the humongous swanton that Jeff Hardy did off the ladder. I like the spear that Edge did to Jeff Hardy. That was awesome. In the same match, WrestleMania 18, of course, with The Rock and Hogan. The thing I loved about that WrestleMania moment is that the fans said, nah, we're cheering for Hogan no matter what. I don't care if Hogan ran over The Rock with an 18-wheeler. No, we're still cheering for Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's back in the WWE, and we love it. That was a great moment.
I do not get Hulk Hogan's popularity. It mystifies me. It just does.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
You're a completely different generation.
I know. I'm technically, you are too.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, it was cool to like Hulk Hogan. That's why I got that giant blanket with Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah. I made fun of you for that. I was like, really? You'd have a giant blanket of anybody? You picked Hogan?
Yeah.
I don't hate Hogan. He did a lot for the business. I mean, I'm just saying. It's
just a little bit different.
His immense popularity just confuses me.
It's just different because the first time I saw it was like when Hogan was popular. The first time you saw it was
when he was selling Rent-A-Center.
Was when Thunder was on.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different.
I agree. Alright, I guess for me, somebody said I couldn't say the thing that I always say, so I guess I'll pick another Shawn Michaels moment and say, I mean, it's just hard for me to say because I wasn't emotionally invested in any of these matches, but I mean, I guess the moment with Mike Tyson and Shawn Michaels was cool.
Yeah, it's a cool moment.
It was a cool moment. Like, when I watch it on the recaps, I think it's hilarious, but I wasn't emotionally invested in it. I haven't been watching long enough to have all these memories of being emotionally invested in all these WrestleManias, you know? Like, I was really emotionally invested in the Shawn Michaels retirement match, but I wouldn't have wanted to be there because...
Yeah, because they would have been mad.
Yeah, and it made me sad at home. It would have made me really sad if I was there.
Well, you know, most people that have been watching as long as you have, since 2007, they would probably say, well, that was like the first time that CM Punk was in a match in WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was so important.
Saying. What's important to CM Punk fans?
Well, I know. Alright.
Because they're their hero. From their earliest memories. See what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. I was never a kid watching wrestling, so I don't know. I think it's different when you watch as a grown-up.
That's why you're so bitter.
I'm bitter. Okay, so...
You don't like Hogan at all.
I didn't say I don't like Hogan at all. I said I just don't understand.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
Okay.
Zosman93 says... Greetings from Egypt. You have an Egyptian subscriber. Holy moly, you are international.
Holy moly, we are international.
I know. So
I don't know anything about Egypt, but
they have the pyramids.
See, I
and
knew
the Sphinx.
I was trying to avoid
the
that.
Nile River and the Sahara Desert. That is all I know about Egypt.
Didn't they have like something on Indiana Jones when they were in Egypt and they went into the town?
Yes, and it was like a city
with the big fat guy, right?
Yeah.
He was like, oh.
I think. Okay, I don't want to be wrong.
Cairo? I don't.
Cairo in Egypt?
See, that's the thing about us Americans.
We don't know geography.
We're really dumb.
Like, they bring us up... I don't think this is bad now, but like when we're going through the school system, it's like, we're America, and we don't need to learn about nobody else, because we're America, we're the best.
We're Americans.
So, like, we're stupid about all other countries, which is really sad, because I think it'd be interesting.
But now that the internet... See, the internet wasn't around when we was a kid.
That's true.
So we just didn't know.
Now they're all open to new possibilities.
Now we get to talk to people like you from Egypt.
It's kind of cool. So if you ever want to tell us about Egypt, or anybody that's from other countries, if y'all just want to, like, hit us up with, like, hey, this is what it's like to live in my country, I think that would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of stuff.
And we can tell you what it's like to live here. I don't know if you're interested. Yeah. I'm just saying, I like to learn, so that would be cool. Anyways, that's just a side note. He wants to know, number one, what would be the best way to have Jericho return after his suspension? Would you have him as a heel or a face? And who would you prefer he faced?
Well, I mean, after a suspension, I would say heel, but... You know, not everybody's going to remember that, I guess. So, I guess it wouldn't exactly matter. But I would like to see Jericho as a heel from now on. I mean, to me, Jericho, heel... I mean, why be a face?
I know, really. but you know, like, I like the older style of Jericho being a heel a lot better than I do the new style.
When he was more like
obnoxious and he was just like saying stuff.
You know what I didn't like is when he was doing that deal in 2007 because he was trying to be, you know, that sugar guy from No Country for Old Men.
I didn't like that. And
I hate that movie.
I mean, he's still kind of doing that.
But
a little.
But he's being real obnoxious with the drug thing, and he's like, test him, he's a drunk,
I mean, that's true, like, that's been pretty funny. I wish he would just gravitate, like, all the way towards that side, and leave that stupid No Country for Old Men thing behind.
You know, that's interesting. It's actually a very interesting point that you're bringing up, because there's a psychology in wrestling for heels. It's called show your ass. And basically, it's like Ric Flair would do it. And Vince McMahon would do it. I mean, he literally did it. But you would
I was like, I know.
But what you do is you go out there and you make yourself a fool. But you do it in a way that you can come back next week and the fans laugh at you and they're like, oh, whatever, you just screwed up and we got you. You come back next week and you stand over them, and then the fans realize that they haven't gotten you or whatever, and then they hate you more. And it's like kind of like like an older style.
I don't understand that.
Like you become like Vince McMahon. You know, he came out there, he showed his butt, he made a complete fool out of himself, he got his pants pulled down, he got low blowed, and the fans are like, aha, we got you, you're down now, because, you're a big bad guy, but we got you where we want you. And then he comes back next week, and he's stronger than ever, and the fans hate him because, he's not showing the weakness or whatever. You see what I'm saying?
No. But I don't want you to explain it again. I mean, I understand what
explain it again.
Well, I'm just saying, because it's going to be like 3 times the same thing on the video. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but, like, I don't get how that works. Like, it doesn't make sense to me in my mind.
Well, I mean, Vince did it all the time.
I know, but I just don't. I have to think about it some more.
Fine, you think about it.
I will. I just don't. I'm sorry.
I guess I just didn't explain it well enough.
Anyways.
Well, you didn't understand.
Well, I'm sorry. So you're saying that...
You can just move on.
Okay,
you're not gonna get
that's what I wanted to move on, but you're like,
Well, it's just so simple. I just don't get it. How can you not understand?
Well, because thinking somebody's a fool and then they're not a fool doesn't make you mad at them.
Never mind.
Okay, you have to explain it to me later.
Continue.
Number 2, do you think WWE should release some behind-the-scenes footage, maybe as a DVD, because I would buy that.
They do.
You would buy that.
Yeah, I would buy that in a heartbeat.
I would probably buy that.
They do some stuff like that. And, I mean, they show it at times. Like the True Story of WrestleMania, they did that.
That was cool.
That was a cool thing.
And the Rise and Fall of WCW. Kind of, right?
They didn't show any...
They discussed, but... Well, I guess he said show...
Showing, Todd going over the matches and stuff. That's something that they were allowed to show in Beyond the Mat, which wasn't a WWE production, but I mean, they gave permission. What are you running?
I'm making a note unrelated to this video.
And, yeah, but I think it would be very interesting. Sometimes I'm kind of concerned, though, that, it's going to expose the business by bringing up stuff like that, but, I think if anybody is willing to go out and buy something that is exclusively behind-the-scenes footage, then they obviously care enough, are emotionally enough invested in the product, that's not going to kill wrestling for them. I mean, the people who, if they found out that they go over the matches behind the scenes, and they were like, oh my gosh, I mean, those people, I just don't, they were just going to be like, wait, that punch wasn't real, I'm going to quit watching this.
Because, I mean, it was cool on the WrestleMania one, because you got to see John Cena, signing, 3 million autographs.
That was on the John Cena Experience.
Well, what? My bad. I get all the DVDs bundled up in my head.
Whoa, angry.
It was about WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was a build-up to WrestleMania, but yeah.
I'm just saying, anything that you watch with some behind-the-scenes footage like that is interesting because you get to see, it made me respect the wrestlers more because it's dudes up at 7 a.m. signing a crap ton of autographs, for 3 or 4 hours, you know? I don't know, anything like that I watch a thing with behind-the-scenes footage, it always instills in me more respect for the person or the product. Because it's wow, this is how much goes into this.
Well, I mean, I think me and you were talking about 2 different things. What you're talking about is actual, signing autographs, working out.
Behind-the-scenes footage.
I know, but I mean, I am interpreting it as behind-the-scenes as alright, you're going to go out there and do this match, and you're going to get heat this way. That's the kind of behind-the-scenes stuff I'm talking about. Which they showed... I believe a little bit on that Maybe they did it. I don't think they did so much.
I don't think they showed that on the WrestleMania DVD. That's why I didn't interpret it that way, because I never seen that.
They have done some stuff where they're like, all right, well, we'll set up this camera. So, I mean, but yeah.
Either way, the answer's pretty much the same. Yeah, we think it'd be cool.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to hurt the business in any way, even if it completely exposes, like, you already know that if you're going to pot down money for something like that.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
It's coffee time.
Oh my goodness. Alright, so Rockstar Penguin 16 says, congrats on your 1,000 subscribers, thanks. My question is, what are your thoughts on CM Punk being on the WWE 13 cover? That's question 1. So what are your thoughts on CM Punk being on the WWE 13 cover?
Why would you put anyone else on there? He's the most popular guy in the company. I mean, that's what you do, so I have no problem with it whatsoever.
Okay. If you were to get your name on a pay-per-view, what would you call it and why?
I have to make my own pay-per-view?
Yeah, if you were to get your name, get to name, if you were to get to name your own pay-per-view, what would you call it?
I guess Chronix is awesome.
Man, you told mine. I was going to say Crystal's Awesome Extravaganza. That's what mine
You should name pay-per-views for WCW. I mean, you know...
I can see it in lights.
Oh my gosh. I came up with some pay-per-view names when I was a teenager.
Did you?
They're pretty lame if you want to hear them. I mean, I came up with them when I was 13. This is my pay-per-view schedule, if I can remember this correctly. Let's see.
My gosh, he had a whole schedule.
Yeah, well, yeah. I had...
Yeah, I'm pretty just that.
Let's see, it's Disabled was the first one. It's like a hardcore... Well, kind of like something. Then there's Inferno. Then there's In Your Face. What? It's out of control. There's, we're laughing. There's Extreme Days.
Oh,
You're
really?
like Extreme Rules, you know? But this is before that. We're laughing.
Disabled, Inferno, in your face.
We're making fun of my pay-per-views. And then my biggest pay-per-view... Well, that was September to Remember. I ripped that one off, obviously. And then my big pay-per-view, ready for this one? Because I know you're going to laugh. I know you're going to laugh. Is... God. Is, Medieval Mayhem. I thought they were pretty awesome when I was...
Were all the wrestlers to dress up as knights and have jousting in Medieval Mayhem?
No.
Okay.
No.
I really just like, it's like Disabled, it's like alright, you know, and then Inferno, I'm like, Dante's Inferno, that's kind of weird. And then I'm like, and then it's like, In Your Face!
In your face!
Okay.
Some of them were good pay-per-views. Telling you. Won the title at some of them.
I'm so glad. Okay. Alright, so that's it for you, Rockstar.
Oh, did you know that my promotion was called Most Extreme Wrestling? Why are you rolling your eyes? Is that stupid?
No, how would I not know that?
Oh, well, I didn't know. You didn't know the pay-per-view names.
I don't know the pay-per-view names. I wasn't there with you when you were like 14 coming up with this. Alright. Flair420 says, number 1, who is your favorite Beatle? Paul, Ringo, John, or George?
Who's your favorite?
Who was the least retarded? I mean...
I'm gonna Royal Rumble you off this couch.
Okay, I mean personality-wise. Like drug craziness-wise. Who was the least, like...
George Harrison.
Alright, George Harrison's my favorite.
Do I have to say...
I like the Beatles. Just for all the haters out there, I do like the Beatles. I like the Beatles. I just want to be very clear. I like the Beatles. I even like that Across the Universe movie.
Yeah, which probably most Beatles fans hate, but by the way.
I didn't help myself, did I?
Let's see. Since I'm a bass player, mine's going to have to be Paul McCartney.
Okay.
I
just get them confused. I think they all look the same, but I like their music.
I think that John Lennon, I thought he was kind of a jerk. So.
Oh, yeah, I don't like him. He's the one with the glasses, right? I don't like him. I think he's...
Yeah, but I mean, they were all really gifted, and I love Ringo Starr. You know, I remember the first time I heard of Ringo Starr, and I know, like, I guess if you're really old and you're a Beatles fan, you'll be like, meh. But, you know, when I was a little kid,
do
Thomas...
that face again.
Why?
Do it, meh.
Why?
It's funny.
I'm not doing it again.
Okay.
So Thomas the Tank Engine would come on, and I love that show. And Ringo Starr...
Oh, he's the one that read it?
Yeah, well...
Maybe he's my favorite.
But then the other guy that died that was a comedian. George Carlin did it.
Yeah, but I liked Ringo's because it was in an English accent that made it better. Maybe
Yeah.
he's my favorite because he did that.
But he wasn't very good with the
And
singing.
George Harrison did the guitar gently weeps.
Yeah.
See, I do like the Beatles. I really get them confused. They all look the same to me except for John Lennon because he has glasses. It's the only one I can do.
But yeah, Paul is my favorite. Or Ringo.
Okay.
I love the Beatles.
You know what? I think I'm going to select Ringo because I loved the Thomas the Tank Engines with him.
And the Beatles inspired me to play bass.
Are you going to play us a piece since you got the bass out?
Well, you can't really hear it, but I mean, I'll just play when you're reading.
Oh, that's
totally
fine.
I'll play Come Together.
No problem with that. Alright, what's the worst Bret Hart match you've ever seen?
What's the worst Bret Hart match?
Every Bret Hart match. Ha ha ha. Just kidding.
This one.
I don't know. How about... No, because that's mean. I don't want to say that.
I don't know a bad Bret Hart match. I mean, obviously I wasn't really around then.
I wasn't either, so I don't know enough about it. Like, I know I don't like Bret Hart, but that's not because of his matches. It's because of his personality.
Jerkiness sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that one's easy, actually.
Was it the Survivor Series?
It was Vince McMahon versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 26 or whatever.
See,
that last match.
I was going to say that, but then I didn't want to be a jerk because it's not his fault because he had a stroke.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's true, but it was still a horrible match.
Okay.
And he probably knows it. I mean, he
No,
knows.
He said it was great. Like,
No,
I'm pretty
he didn't.
Sure, I'm pretty sure he would say it was great. But, you know. Okay. I mean, because I was going to say that too, but I just felt like it was rude because he couldn't really help it. Okay, you gotta stop. This is what he does. I'm trying to concentrate and read stuff, and he's like,
Okay, we're playing.
Okay. Tiago Tree 1 says, been around for a long time. So is Rockstar Penguin. Anyway. Okay.
Rockstar Penguin has been around?
Well, I just remember saying her name like every Q&A because I think it's funny like every time. And then Tiago Tree, I learned how to say his name. Okay, so he says, hi guys, congrats for the 1,000 subs, thanks. Now that we saw Triple H versus Taker was awesome, which it was, I was surprised, but it was, do you guys think that Sting versus Taker would be even good? The two of them can still work in the ring.
You know,
I would agree that they can still work in the ring, but no, I don't think it'd be good.
You know, that's true. Because Undertaker's really old, but he still had a great match. So,
yeah.
Obviously they're not going to fly around. They could change their styles and still work a great match. I mean, as long as...
I just don't know.
I think they can. You know, now that you say that, that does make sense. Because they can still bump. And, I mean, come on. Hulk Hogan had a great match with The Rock, and he only hit the mat like twice. Like, he hit the mat solid once or twice. And he still worked a great match. So, I mean, you don't have to go all Jeff Hardy and jump off a 20-foot ladder to make a great match. So,
I mean, I guess they could probably pull it off. But
I think they could pull it off.
But it wouldn't be something that I would be
you
looking
say
forward
that.
to seeing.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't be looking forward to seeing. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't know what I was going to say.
You just changed what you were going to say in mid-sentence.
No, I didn't. Because I was going to say that I wasn't looking forward to the Triple H versus Taker match, but then it was good, so it'll probably be the same situation. Okay. This is for Chronics, because I bet Crystal, before being a fan, already knew. How did you know wrestling was a work? Me, it was 2001, I was 9, it was the internet's fault. And then he says, to the 2,000 subs. So, thanks for that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We got to...
To the 2,000. See, I did it dramatic. I imagine that that's how you did it in front of your computer.
To the 2,000 subs! Alright, so, how did I know it was a work?
Yeah, how did you know it was a work? Because I did already know.
So, I don't know, I guess, like, it never occurred to me that it was real, I guess. Like, I never thought that it was, like, a legitimate sport, even when I was little, which is weird. But I saw it, you know how movies, the guy's not dying in the movies, right?
Yeah.
Or the guy's not getting dismembered.
So you just perceived it as everything else on TV.
Yeah. I mean, I just didn't see it because of the production value. It just didn't feel like sports. Like, I don't know, maybe football has, like, less camera angles or something. I don't know. It seemed so produced There was music, there was pyro, everything was choreographed. And when I watched it, I was like, well, I don't know. It just seemed like a work because, like, when you get in a fight with somebody, you don't fight like that. I know what amateur wrestling is, and that's not what wrestling looks like. And to me, like, you could kind of see, like, the guys were helping each other out with the moves and stuff. So it's just funny because I never thought of it as... But I do remember defending it, saying, like, people would be like, oh, it's fake. And I would be like, how is it fake? They're hitting the mat. I mean, you can't fake that, you know? And, like, those submission holds do hurt. Well, I mean, if you put pressure on them. But, like, a figure four hurts. You get slammed off the top rope, it's going to hurt. Like, you can't fake that. And they'd be like, oh, it's like a trampoline. And I'm like, really? Laws of physics. It don't bounce much like a trampoline. It does bounce. But back in those early 90s, when, like, I first saw it, the ring was a lot stiffer. So, I just never really saw it. Because every move takes cooperation, so...
Yeah, that's something that I didn't know. And that I learned when I was a wrestling fan, because I just thought, I knew it was fake.
Like predetermined?
Yeah, I knew it was predetermined, but I thought that you could, like, wrestle another guy in that way. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't know that every move took cooperation until you started showing me some moves, and, like, I realized that you can't even make me do most moves.
Yeah.
You know, like, I have to cooperate. At least not wiggle around. You know,
yeah.
So, and you're like a lot stronger than me. So, that's something that I learned as a fan, I guess.
And there's a lot of little things that, like, I didn't exactly realize. Like, you know, at first, I didn't understand how the DDT worked. Or, like, how exactly they did the chair shot. For a long time, probably until I was 16, I didn't exactly understand how they bladed. Or where the blade came from, or where they hit it, or what, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't know that they literally took a piece of a razor blade and slit, like, right across their brow.
I didn't know that either. I thought it was like a ketchup packet or something, you know?
Or not, because people that would be like, oh, it's fake, they would also say, well, the blood's fake, you know? And it's obvious the blood isn't fake because it pours.
Yeah, and
they'd be like, oh, you know.
One of my personal, like, biggest pet peeves. Because every time you tell somebody that you watch professional wrestling, like, you don't know it's fake.
Yeah, even now. I'm like 25 and people ask me if it's...
I am an adult. I am a grown woman. Yes, I know that wrestling isn't real, but they don't realize that it is real and there's real...
And you can't tell them that.
Yeah,
you can't tell them that you can get hurt.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I know that they predetermine the matches, but that doesn't mean that they're not doing something. And there is drama... like, to talk about who's going to get pushed and who's not going to get pushed, and, like, backstage, and, like, strategy working in psychology with the crowd. So, to me, there's a lot of realness to it, but you just can't get past that stereotype.
Yeah, and I mean...
Which irritates me as a wrestling fan, because I think wrestling's a really intelligent business, and everybody else thinks it's hillbilly.
Yeah, like, I mean, marketing-wise and everything, and in a lot of other ways. It is a legitimate thing. And see, like... what I try to tell people, and of course they don't listen, is like, oh, a body slam couldn't possibly hurt. And I'm like, alright, you body slam yourself on your bed 20 times every single night for a month, and you will have like 1/10 of what it's like to be a wrestler, and I bet you can't walk.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that just irritates me, because they act like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, those body slams do hurt. Like, when they're doing the training, those guys are tough guys, and they're, like, crying.
Yeah.
In training, I mean, they beat the crap. It's like, you have to be tough. You know, they try to act like anybody can do it, but I could rant about that forever.
I know.
But yeah.
We'll move on. Alright, so now, Mr. Tommy Moonbounce says, Chronix, what do you do for a living?
I'm going to keep that a secret.
That's right. And what? I wouldn't tell you either, but what? You don't want to know what I do for a living? What's that about?
He doesn't like
you. What's that about?
I will say, though, with the fakeness of the wrestling, for a long time, because I thought it was fake, I thought it was faker than it was. Because I thought, oh, well, it's not real. I thought that there's no way they could get hurt, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Moving on. Next page. How are we on time?
We got 6 minutes.
Okay. Now, Raphael X Phoenix, who contained himself greatly by making only 2 questions, says, way to go, guys. I heart you. Thanks. We heart you, too.
Heart.
So...
He Bret Harts us.
He says, so... I have a question. Maybe you guys can help me out. Why did Stone Cold and Hogan not settle on a finish for Mania 18 that would have seen maybe Hogan win, but instead you had a match where Rock beat Hogan? Was the problem Austin not wanting to lose to Hogan, or Hogan not willing to lose to Austin but yes to The Rock? Because if people want to say Hogan didn't put over Austin, why did Hogan put over The Rock? I'm confused here, thanks a lot. I'm confused too, so I'm not going to be any help, but I'm just going to kick it right over here.
I mean, you know, to my knowledge, in every interview I've ever heard, Stone Cold never was considered for this match. Now, you know, I could be wrong, and, you know, I'm sure somebody in the comment section will correct me if I'm wrong, but they always do. But I'm just saying, to my knowledge, I don't recall them ever really having any plans to do Austin and Hogan. And I have heard from several people, like in the wrestling business and wrestlers, that, you know, Austin and Hogan probably wouldn't have been the best match anyways, because, you know, Hogan is not as mobile as The Rock, and you needed somebody who was extra mobile in the ring to take care of Hogan, who couldn't hit the mat but like a couple of times without shattering into glass, you know, and like that sort of thing. And like I don't think the styles would have worked very well together, in my opinion, unless they had like a bloody match, because, you know, Austin is the brawler, and Hogan kind of was like that as well, because, you know, his limited amounts. So yeah, to my knowledge, that match was never really even considered. I'm not really sure why, but there might have been some backstage politics. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I do wonder about that match, why it didn't happen, though.
Part 2. Sorry about the Punk question last time. I forgot you guys made that vid. It's okay. But babyface Punk bores the heck out of me. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but he's lame right now. I can tolerate Orton as a face, and I can't. But not Punk after everything he said last summer. I find him more believable as a heel. Your thoughts? I 100% agree with pretty much everything you said, except that you can tolerate Orton.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would say that much bad about Punk or negative if he was still a heel.
Agreed.
And I don't care if it has anything to do with the whole shoot and everything, because I didn't even like that. But
I didn't like that. I thought that was stupid.
Yeah, I thought it was the most unbelievable thing ever in history. I mean,
yeah, and it was just so immature to me. Like, that's a weird word to use, but it was immature. But I guess, I mean, considering their target audience is kids, then they're gonna think that like teenager cool style is like cool.
Yeah,
you know,
because like to me, like Stone Cold, he didn't whine. I don't know. It's but the thing is, Punk as a heel, I always thought was great.
I did too.
And him, you know, and the Straight Edge Society and other things, I always liked. But I just felt like it was being whiny or whatever. But
yeah, and I think like that's just like an age difference thing. I think because like I had this moment when I realized that I was getting old when I watched that '70s show and started siding with the parents. You know, like when when I'm like, wow, Red was right and Eric's an idiot. You know,
Eric is an idiot.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, I remember when I was like, oh man, I want to be just like Eric because he's awesome. You know,
yeah, but I totally feel
it's
you.
That
like
different like kid thing, like you know.
But I mean, anyone who did like the shoot and like the whole thing set up around it, which most people did, I can understand why you would be upset now or not like what Punk is doing, because it's not really the same and it's all watered down, and he just comes out there and just does the same old thing, and it's just he's got no edge.
I agree with that too, and yeah, I mean, even if you did like last summer, you definitely not like now, and the people that didn't like last summer still don't like now. So it's like nobody likes now.
Yeah, nobody's winning. He just is holding the belt because no one else is there to take it from him.
Still like him because they like him, which I mean I understand because I'd like Shawn Michaels no matter what he did ever. So,
yeah, even if he was like
I don't care what his gimmick was. I would love Shawn Michaels. So I mean I understand that mentality. I'm just saying. And then he says, "LOL, I can't help feeling somewhat responsible for this new rule. Nonetheless, congrats and hope all." I'm gonna do the whole Q&A video with the mask on.
Yes, I must conceal my identity.
Okay. High five wrestling. High five. We both did that. Says, who do you guys think will be the next U.S. champion?
Me.
Santino's the U.S. champion right now, right?
Yes, maybe The Miz will be the United States champion.
I don't know.
I should do this whole deal, well, like a really obnoxiously bad, stereotypical bad indie wrestler.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's it? You're done? Okay. Alright, so my answer is I really don't know, and your answer is?
The Miz shall become champion because The Miz is good at wrestling.
Okay. Impossible 956.
It is impossible.
Alright, that's it.
No, my identity has been compromised.
Okay. Impossible 956 says...
Now everybody's gonna know who I am.
Everybody knew who you were anyways. Says, Crystal, what are your favorite death metal bands? Well, honestly, I really, like, as a whole genre, don't like death metal that much. I just like Cannibal Corpse. It's like, I like all kinds of metal, and I like Cannibal Corpse.
Let's define metal. You like...
I like hair metal.
Hair metal.
But I also like other kinds of metal. Like, well, help me out, because I listen to Lamb of God.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie.
Well, that's kind of heavy metal.
Like I'm saying, like, basically, I like pretty much all types of metal.
But
and
you
I like death metal.
But you like Poison and Motley Crue and stuff.
So?
Well, I'm just saying.
That's part of metal.
Well... Poison.
Hair metal.
And you like Styx. And,
I do like Styx.
And Def Leppard.
I do like Def Leppard, but I also like Lamb of God, Rob Zombie. I liked Disturbed before they sucked.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's be political.
Those type of bands, and I'm like blanking on who else that I like.
Yeah.
I like.
Okay.
But as far as death metal, the only real death metal band that I listen to is Cannibal Corpse.
Do you like Winger?
What song do they sing?
Don't they sing... Who sings Headed for a Heartbreak? That's gotta be something... Who? What about that Love Is on the Way song? That's by somebody else.
Yeah.
Love is on the way. I can see it in your eyes.
I can listen to like the first minute of that song and then I'm like done.
That's great.
But yeah.
Just pulling out the lighter music.
I know it is. Okay. So yeah. Crystal and Chronix. Who are your favorite wrestlers in WWE that no one would expect you to like?
No one would expect me to like currently. I mean, I like Tyler Ricks.
That's not unexpected, though.
Yeah, because I say it a lot.
Yeah, you do.
I guess I'll say Zack Ryder.
Okay.
Because I think people hate Zack Ryder, and I don't get it. I mean, he's not bad in the ring. He's very smart. He's a good worker. And he's not horrible on the microphone. And the dude got himself over by himself. I mean, he made a character. You know, he's like, I'm going to get rid of, the long hair and, like, do something completely different, 180. I'm going to make my own YouTube show, something that other people aren't doing. And I'm going to get myself over. He got himself over 1,000% by himself. I mean, I think so, right?
Pretty much. I can respect that.
So, I mean, I got so much respect for him. So, I mean, I like him because of that.
I like him too, but, I guess I would say, I mean, I like Santino. Probably known, I wouldn't think people would think I would like Santino.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of a doofus. I mean, like, his gimmick is kind of a doofus. I don't think he's a doofus. But I just think...
Jim Cornette thinks he's a doofus.
Well, I think Jim Cornette's a doofus. So, we want to talk about that? Want to talk about how much I hate Jim Cornette?
No, I don't.
Okay, didn't think so. Okay. Yeah.
I can't think of anybody else that you wouldn't expect me to like.
Yeah, because I was going to say I like him just because I find him entertaining. I think he's funny.
He's a goofball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, I've liked him ever since. With tears in his eyes, he tries to go.
No, Royal Rumble 2011.
Oh, that was funny. Alright, anyways. Okay. Pac-Man Fever 100 says, congrats on your 100 subs and moving to your new home. Well, thank you. Number 1. Do you think Melina was messing around with Batista or Mike Knox?
No.
I don't know. Probably not.
I don't think so. That just doesn't. That didn't even make sense to me.
It doesn't.
It's
really
because
compute in my head
he's
either.
the champion, so she's gonna have sex with him, so John Morrison can like have a higher spot. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
He's not, just because he's a champion doesn't mean he has real political power.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it might have been like something like, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
Who's Mike Knox? Is that Batista's real name?
No, that's a different wrestler. It's not there anymore.
Okay. I'm gonna say no, just because I'm saying no on nothing else but the fact that usually stuff like that just isn't true. I mean, y'all gotta think back, or I don't know if you're in high school, or you gotta think back to high school. Was that stuff ever true? No, it wasn't. You know?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Well.
It's just something to talk about.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
I mean, it could be. I mean, nobody really knows.
It's just a rumor, right?
But,
I mean, is there video?
No.
Is there pictures?
Oh, that'd be ugly. Oh, Batista. Oh, gross. Anyways. Okay.
And I mean, if the story of them having sex is true, and it was like they're into that, well, I mean, whatever. I don't care, but you know.
I mean, I don't care.
It's their own personal decision, and I don't give a crap.
I don't either.
But I don't think it was done for like political positioning. I don't buy that. I just don't.
All right. So
and I don't really like Melina either, by the way. So I'm not just defending her.
That's true. Neither of us really like her.
I think she's crazy. I just don't like her.
All right.
I don't know.
I mean, I can't say I don't like her as a person. I just don't find her very...
I don't find her very likable.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Number 2. Where do you rank Santino in the top 50 list of greatest wrestlers or talkers?
Greatest 50?
Like at the bottom?
I mean, not even... He shouldn't even be on that list, period. What are you doing?
I'm thirsty. You drank all my water.
When? You spilt the water, doofus.
Oh, before that, you drank some.
No, I didn't. I had this the whole time.
But at dinner, you drank my water.
That was hours ago.
Doesn't matter. You owe me some water.
Water and power over here. And if you know that reference, you are like the coolest person on the planet. Water and power.
Monopoly?
8, the burning 8. The only number
Oh.
filled with hate.
I was doing Monopoly.
No.
What are you doing over there?
Tank Girl. The
I've
movie.
seen that movie. That's a cool movie, by the way.
It's an awesome movie
It is
that's
a really
weird.
Cool movie.
And if you like the band The Gorillas and you hadn't seen that, I mean, I think that they made it, or they did the drawings or something.
No idea, but they were cool. It was a cool movie.
Integral part in making that movie.
I did not know that, actually. Okay. I'm a Cat Meow 3 says, well, we have a kitty cat. This is a kitty cat.
Hi,
right here.
Teddy. Can you see Teddy?
I don't think you can see Teddy. It kind of just looks
I
like...
can see part of his head.
Okay, well, that's Teddy. Alright. She says, when do you think ultimately as a people... okay, let me start this over. When do you think ultimately we as a people, as one planet, will learn to accept each other and each being as one, finally come together for the better of Earth, end war, racism, and all acts of cruelty and injustice?
That's deep.
It's deep. Okay, I do have actually some thoughts on this.
Okay.
First I was going to say, like, never. And that was going to be my initial thought. But then I thought that I should expand it. I would say, you know, like, as a Christian, you know, Christians believe that, you know, Jesus will come back and restore, like, heaven on earth. And then it will be like that, you know, the lion will lie with the lamb and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that most major religions have some sort of belief like that. Not sure on that one. I know that, so I would say that, like, if I was going to give you, like, a Christian answer as a Christian, I would say that. Okay? And then I also had some thoughts on the fact that, like, as far as, like, accepting each other and coming together, like we talked about in my, one of my classes that I took, International Cultures, Business, something, class like that, okay? And he talked about how, you know, like, and we talked about this earlier in the previous video, how before the internet, it was just like we were isolated, like, as a country.
Yeah.
And we're just like, you know, we're America, and just forget everybody else. You know, and everybody, and he was telling, you know, the professor was obviously older, and he's like, you know, we used to call Asia and China the mysterious Orient, like they were all weird,
not
like,
even
crazy
that
people, you
long
know?
ago.
And that wasn't that long ago. But he talked about how now, like, people that are our age is the first age of what they call the universal generation, which is people that are often a product of mixed culture marriages. They're kids that are coming from, like, very diverse backgrounds, like, even from different countries marrying together, different races marrying together, having kids. And then also just the fact that we have such tools with the internet and communication.
Yeah, because, I mean, we talk to people in Brazil, Egypt,
that he
China.
said that we're, like, people our age are really the first generation to see that, like to us, everybody that's around our age is, like, the same people.
We're just people.
They just live in a different country.
Yeah.
And, like, there's slightly different differences in, like, your culture and the way you live, but you're just a person.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I can talk to somebody in the Philippines, and they're complaining about going to school and how much of a pain it is. And guess what I'm complaining about? Going to school and how much of a pain it is. And so it's like...
Yeah.
You know, it's like we're all the same. So, like, I think as far as that, like, just with the advent of communications, things are getting a lot better because you can understand each other and what's going on. And then if you want to get even deeper, you could talk about how, like, the spread of capitalism, which, depending on who you talk to, is or is not a good thing, is
true.
making basically, like, a universal language where everybody speaks English, which, depending on who you talk to, is or is not a good thing.
It's good for me, because that's the only
It's good for me,
language I
too.
can speak.
And it's, I mean, I wish I spoke more languages, but I don't.
We're Americans.
Yeah, and so, And so, like, you know, you can talk about that and how the world is just becoming more similar as you progress. So that was my thoughts on that.
Okay, so my thoughts on this, as, you know, you were talking about from a Christian perspective. And I'm sure a lot of people were smacking their forehead when you said that, because most people, well, not most people, but the other side of the coin is that Christianity is the problem. As long as religion exists, there will be wars.
People think that, yes.
Because the religion, and I'm just talking about that perspective is that the religions will always be at each other, and religion is something that's very old and something that's very mythological, so there's no, like, truth in it, or there's no reality in it, so it's a bunch of people holding on to things that don't really exist, and they're fighting over things that don't exist. You know, and it's like, it's like...
I know people have that perspective.
Yeah, because it's like you're being stupid. You know, it's like you're limiting your mind, and it causes problems. But this is the thing, whether you think that that's true or not, my perspective is, over that, beyond that, is that people are people. And even if we were all in one big land that all conjoined each other and we all thought the same way and we all had the same feelings, there's always going to be people that aren't smart, there's going to be people that are smart. There's going to be people that are on the lower class, and there's going to be people on the higher class.
People that are power hungry.
So no matter what, there's always going to be issues. Will there always be wars? I don't know. I'm assuming in some way people are going to get treated like crap because we're not all the same.
And then people are going to get tired of being treated like crap.
And there's going to be revolts.
Yeah.
So to me, human nature, because we're so different, no matter how much you try to make us the same, there will always be people that stand out.
Yeah.
And there'll be problems because of that.
I think, too, that it bothers me. I mean, it doesn't bother me because everybody's entitled to their opinion, but it's just something that, like, I feel strongly against, that people, like, viewing that religion is the cause of, like, conflicts, because religion is supposed to be a peaceful entity.
But it's caused a war since the beginning of time.
I mean, it has. But I'm just saying that, like, most churches, you don't go to church and they're like, let's go to war with everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in general, like, at least what I've seen, it's just, I mean, you're going to have extremists in everything, no matter what it is. You know, there's people that live in the South that think the South should secede from the Union and we should have a civil war again.
Well, I mean, I think that's based in that we are, I don't know, people consider us a Christian nation, which I don't really see that.
I don't see that
But,
either.
I mean, as a whole, it would be more as if we are a Christian country going against the non-Christian countries and trying to, you know, Christianize everyone.
Do that anymore.
I know, but people think that.
I know. But did you know, fun fact, other countries send missionaries here.
For other religions?
No, for Christianity.
Well, that's weird.
Because, yeah, it's like, who was it? I can't remember, but there was a guy, and he, like, came to church, and he was talking. He was from another country, and, like, one that, it was, like, in Africa or something,
yeah.
I'm thinking, I'm not sure. And he said that the number one place that they send missionaries is the United States,
so
because
weird.
we're one of the most unchristian nations in the world, even though we're supposed to be a Christian nation.
Interesting. Alright, well, we can move on.
Move on, sorry, we got way off on that, but you did ask a deep question, so you should expect deep thoughts. Anyways, number 2, pulling way out of that, my current favorite wrestlers and performers are Daniel Bryan and Damian Sandow. What do you guys think of the futures of these great workers?
I think that they have good futures.
I think that I don't like Daniel Bryan, but I'm sure that he will go far. And I also think
that at some point you will start appreciating him.
And because I used to not like Dolph Ziggler, so I'm keeping an open mind. And I think that I don't know who Damian Sandow is.
Well, if you'd watched SmackDown...
If I watched SmackDown, you would know who that was.
Exactly.
Was that the guy that talked about being smart?
Yes.
I liked him.
There you go.
I did know who it was. And yeah, so, and about the previous question, I mean, we weren't trying to be, like, bashing other religions or anything. I just want to be clear.
I didn't think we came off that way.
I'm just making sure that we were, like, very clear that I'm open-minded to other opinions. Anyways. Okay. Javo West says, way to go on your milestone. Thanks. You guys are awesome. Thanks. I was wondering if you two could help
your shirt says.
settle... It does say I'm awesome. I was wondering if you two could help settle a debate between my friend and I. My favorite wrestler of all time is The Undertaker, and his is Ric Flair. Based... Sorry,
you have some issues over there?
Have the hiccups. Based on in-ring ability, mic skills, and character development, who do you think is the better of the two? It's like, first of all, I want to say, like, props for giving criteria, because that helps.
Yeah.
A lot. Because my default is going to be The Undertaker, just because I like him better. But that doesn't necessarily mean that based on your criteria that he's better. So we will discuss it.
Who is the better? Alright. Well,
Let's talk about in-ring ability.
Okay, in-ring ability. Now, they're both different. And I think that's probably where all the issues are made. Between anybody debating this. Because they're so different. They come from different time periods. And their styles are different. Because Ric Flair, you know, is more of a comedy base, and back to what I said in the last video, that's the, you know, the show your ass thing, where you act like that. But you didn't understand that. No, that's fine.
I'm sorry.
Whatever. But he's goofy.
Get some chocolate milk.
Are you serious?
I can't go
Aren't we
get
supposed to
chocolate
be discussing this?
milk. Okay, fine.
Fine, just leave.
No, you
just
get
go
up
get your
you get up and get coffee all the time when we're having a discussion. So I thought I could go get chocolate milk.
Anyway, so in-ring skill, they're completely different because, you know, Ric Flair is more of a goofy style. He's falling around, and, you know, like, the way he works is different. And then Undertaker, very gimmick-specific with his, you know, dead man gimmick. He's, you know, he doesn't, like, initially, you know, he didn't sell, and, you know, he had to do things differently, and he evolved into what he does now, which is much more complicated. And, you know, he did the American Badass where, you know, he did a lot more facial expressions and then that sort of thing. So I think in that way, in ring ability, The Undertaker developed as time went on and changed with the times.
That was character development.
I know, but that's something that I don't think Ric Flair really did. Like,
Okay.
he did the exact same thing from day one, you know, basically.
Okay,
to what
so
he's
in
doing
character development, you're saying Undertaker wins.
No. I'm saying in working, The Undertaker developed his in-ring ability.
Okay. But I think he's just saying, because that would fall under character
No,
development.
it wouldn't. His in-ring ability has developed.
Okay, so you think that now it's better than Ric Flair's?
I think it's... Yes.
Okay.
His work.
His work.
His in-ring ability. His working ability is different.
Okay.
Because Ric Flair has a different style of working. Like, I think Ric Flair can work things probably better than the Undertaker. He's a better worker than The Undertaker, perhaps.
Okay.
I'll give him that.
Alright.
But in-ring ability, I think that The Undertaker has, I think his is much more crisp, and I think The Undertaker, and then Ric Flair's is a little bit more loosely based, a little bit more goofy.
Okay.
Less serious.
What about Mike's skills? Now see, this is where I don't think, like, this is so different. This is different because the Undertaker, like, at least when he's doing his dead man gimmick, I mean, the Mike skills aren't a big part of that gimmick to me.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to talk, and he doesn't talk
But
much.
when he was in The American Badass, he talked a lot.
I didn't see that.
Well, to me...
Can I go get my chocolate milk?
Sure.
Now? Thank you. While you talk about The American Badass, which I don't know anything about.
So, I mean, in The American Badass, I think that his speaking ability was very good, but as good as it was, I think that Ric Flair's had to still be better. Because Ric Flair's, I don't know. He had more to talk about, he had more to say. He could cut a promo on anything. And The American Badass so much wasn't like that. The American Badass was really good at adapting with situations. And he was really smart with that, but I would still have to say that Ric Flair's was better. So is that good enough for Mike skills for you?
I think so. It is.
Angry over there.
Well, you...
Well, I mean, I didn't want you to leave when I'm, like, doing a video.
You get coffee all the time.
But that's different.
Leave. It's not different.
The question has already been started.
You leave all the time when the question's been started.
So, the third thing is...
Character development.
Character development.
Which...
His character...
That's gotta be Undertaker.
Because his actually evolved.
Yes, and Ric Flair is still going woo! Which, I mean, it works, but he's still going woo.
But who is better...
I mean, if you want to do an overall picture, I'm gonna continue now, because I haven't got my chocolate milk yet.
Well, how did you not get it yet? You've been gone for like 5 minutes. Golly. But, The Undertaker is developed, and I don't think that Ric Flair so much has, right?
Right.
But, I mean, but to me, there's more things involved.
But it doesn't matter if there's more things involved, because he gave us specific criteria that he wanted us to discuss. So that's why it helps to have specific criteria, because then, like, we can't go outside of that. So based on those criteria, what do you think?
Based on that criteria alone.
Yes.
Mike skills.
Character development and in-ring ability. No, I'm not even looking at the paper.
Man, that's hard. Who would you choose? The Undertaker?
Well, based on
that
those criteria, I would say The Undertaker. But based on, here I am with my Ovaltine that I'm getting ready to do here.
Okay.
But based on, like, if you brought in other factors, like who did more for wrestling, then I would pick Ric Flair.
Okay.
Because I think that as a whole could maybe trump a lot of what Taker did, just because if you look at everything that Ric Flair has done for the business, it's a really big deal. But the question didn't ask that.
Yeah.
So technically our answer to your question, like based specifically on that criteria, would be The Undertaker. However, if you bring in other factors such as contributing to the wrestling business as a whole, I believe Ric Flair would win out.
If it wasn't for the Mike skills thing, I think it would be The Undertaker. I'm going to still say The Undertaker, though.
Okay.
But the Mike skills make it very hard because Ric Flair is really, 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 really good. But, and plus, keep in mind, I wasn't around for most of Ric Flair's career,
That's true.
So
it's hard to be into.
I have to be biased and say The Undertaker.
Right.
Now, I have to figure out where we are, but I think I can do it.
Can you do it? Because I have my chocolate
Eric
milk
for
now.
money. What would you do to build the U.S. title division? Well, that's easy. I would just have actual matches. All right.
No, I read the questions. Okay. No, you
Read the question.
done.
Let's waste a bunch of time and look at the back of the piece of paper. Read the question. Read the question. Read the question. What are you doing? Damn it. Give me this.
There's no question on that page.
It's right there.
Oh.
Daily X Max. Which wrestler? You're just pushing my buttons. Which wrestlers do you think should be in the WWE Hall of Fame? And I'm not going to be distracted. Are not in there yet. That's easy. Macho Man Randy Savage. But for political reasons, apparently we can't have that. How do you feel about people outside of the wrestling business talking down on the sport and giving it a negative aura? Like calling it fake when they do the same thing in entertainment, movie, and other sports. Well, that's very simple to me because on the news and other sports things, whatever, they do that because they have to keep themselves credible. They're going to talk bad about wrestling because they got to get ratings. If they have some kind of steroid thing, they're a bunch of steroid freaks because that's what people expect them to say. And if they was to give them any validity, it would hurt their careers, it would hurt their television shows, and people would look negatively upon those reporters.
You're telling me that they've got to trash wrestling. I guess you're right in a way.
Exactly, I'm right. Now, moving on.
You have to, you can't say wrestling's real, and that's why I paused and hesitated, because that one doesn't have a name under it. So we need to pause and go look at the computer.
No, it's the same guy, see?
Okay, so he has too many questions, so you gotta pick one out of that. We already answered one.
We already answered one. Okay.
Which is why I wanted to take a second to
He says, congrats, well deserved. In the same month, we both celebrated 6 years on YouTube and now caught up to having 1,000 subscribers. Okay. And then he asked about John Morrison dream matches. When does he come back to the WWE, build them, and championships and all that fun stuff? Dream matches? I think he could have a great match with Cody Rhodes.
I think he could too.
But dreams, my dreams are way too high, so let's see. I'm trying to give more realistic stuff.
No, but they're supposed to be your dreams.
So Shawn Michaels just come out of retirement and then put him over at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that would be my dream.
So there you go.
Alright. Now, the Tamina fan says, hey guys, congrats, I love your videos. My question. Oh, you can't leave while the question's
I'm checking the time!
How do you guys think the WWE can build up all their championships like they are important?
They have matches for the championships.
It's not just that. They gotta quit passing it around like it's a piece of candy.
Yeah, they have a match. You win it, you defend it 5 times. Like on the Attitude Game.
You can't just say they're gonna have matches because they do have matches for the championship.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Barely.
It's still a match.
Okay. Santino Marella has tag team matches. He's the United States champion. One-on-one matches.
That's stupid, but...
A division. They don't have divisions.
Okay. Yeah, agreed.
They should, you qualify for stuff.
Yeah.
You're in a division.
Yeah.
And then you need to break out of the division.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly what I said.
No, it's not. You said they gotta have a match.
Yeah. They should have 8-man tag matches to make the championships look better. That's what I meant.
Just be specific about what you meant. Anyways, MindFreak6full says, hey guys, congrats on the 1,000 subs, hope you get 1,000 more. Thank you. First off, this is not my question, but I just wanted to say I was right, Brock was not going to last, like I said in the last Q&A, because he just needed money, plus he lost his wrestling abilities. Brock sucks. Yes, yes, yes. So there, I did the yes chant for you. That was one of your questions. When do you think The Rock will return to WWE like he said to become WWE champion?
Oh, I forgot he said that.
I forgot he said that too. I don't think he will.
Royal Rumble, maybe?
Maybe. I don't think he's going to. I think he was just blowing smoke.
Blowing smoke.
That's right.
So, that's the end of that. If that's you got all that guy?
We got all that guy. Noticed we have switched to the laptop because we hadn't printed off everything and we didn't feel like it. So, we start off with Stroker Race 1988 says, congrats. Excuse me. Congrats on 1,000. This is just the beginning for you guys. I thoroughly enjoy your videos. Thank you. Anyway, my questions. Number 1, to both of you. What is your favorite Chris Jericho match?
That's a hard one. I like that match he had on Raw where he won the championship.
I like the one with Shawn Michaels.
And yeah, he had a good match with also with Chris Benoit, but can't talk about that match. So.
No, you can't. Yeah, the one with Shawn Michaels. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
You don't? The one where he was fighting Shawn and then, he betrayed Shawn.
WrestleMania 19, yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't think you were talking about that one for some reason.
Okay. Sorry I don't know all the WrestleMania numbers and stuff. And then what is your favorite Money in the Bank match?
They all are a blur to me.
You know what? I hate Money in the Bank, so I don't like any of them.
You hate Money in the Bank because it's like unbelievable. They all fall out of the ring, they're all dead until they happen to need to come in to stop somebody from going up the ladder.
And then they climb up the ladder like 80-year-old men.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. So now we have Blizzard Pillow Swine 23 says, congrats on having 1,000 subs. Thanks. My first question, my question is, who is your favorite YouTuber of all time? My favorite YouTuber of all time is Simon's Cat.
Might have to be James the Video Neighbor.
Okay. Then he also says, do you like Jeff Jarrett?
Nah.
No, I do not.
I don't really like him.
Alright, that was easy. Greatest ever 1230 says, congrats on 1,000 subs.
Thanks.
What current WWE superstar do you think will be inducted into the Hall of Fame first?
Current?
Current.
Who's the oldest?
Taker.
Yeah, I take her. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Alright. Okay. Now, Bizarre1000 says, congrats. Do you like or hate Christian as IC champ, and do you think a 3-hour wall will work?
I don't have any problem with Christian being champ. I like him.
I think it's okay. Do you think the 3-hour wall Raw will
Nope.
work?
I don't think it'll work at all.
Definitely not.
It'll make them money, but I don't think it'll work as successful for ratings and
people are not
fans
going to
being
watch
happy.
wrestling for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Alright, now, Sharad V. Nathan says, congrats on 1,000 subs. Here are my 2 questions. If you were wrestlers, what would your gimmick be, and would you be heel or face?
I don't know what my gimmick would be, like if I got to choose, but I would like to probably be a heel. I think it'd be fun.
See, I think I could see you as a face.
See, I don't get that.
Because you'd be like, look,
I mean, I have to be
your hair. You gotta be a face with your hair and being in shape. You gotta be like John Morrison or Shawn Michaels.
But Shawn Michaels was a heel for so long, and John Morrison sucked as a face.
I know.
You gotta go out there and be like, check out my abs. Look at my perfect hair.
I know, but I just think you have a face.
Everybody always tells me, like, I would be a good face and
you
stuff.
Would be a good face.
I don't see that. Like,
You're likable and calm and nice, and you have like a friendly demeanor.
But you, on the other hand,
would be a heel.
Yeah.
I think everybody could have figured that one out. And I think I would be like a manager. I think I would like to be like Vicky Guerrero, so I could just scream incessantly all the time. But Chronic says I shouldn't be.
I think you should be more of a talking instead of a screaming.
Be a talking instead of screaming person, and I think you would be a face. So there. Okay.
Yeah.
You just got the.
I would be an unusual face.
Blonde hair and blue eyes.
Heel.
All cute.
Heel.
Face.
Anyways, continue.
Alright.
They'd probably have me like as a Nazi.
You'd have to have short hair to be a Nazi.
Hippie Nazi. I don't know.
CJEDU08 says, without YouTube, how would it impact you?
If YouTube didn't exist?
Yeah. I mean, we'd have a lot more free time.
I would kind of suck because I love making videos, and I always wanted to make videos somehow, you know, so.
And it would suck for me because I never used YouTube, but like now that I'm on it, I really like it.
Yeah, because I mean, you get to talk to so many different people and
yeah, like it's real cool. So
have friends and fans and stuff.
It would make me sad if it went away.
I wouldn't be as happy.
Who is your favorite independent wrestler?
Nah.
I don't watch it enough to say.
I can't even. I like that Mike Dell guy, and I like that Byron Wilcott dude. Okay. Even though he's kind of hated amongst the indie wrestling fan community, whatever.
I think Mike Dell got his gear stolen. I think I saw that on Facebook. That was a random thought of the day. Alright. WolfXY2J says, number 1, actually he says, I have questions. Number 1. Questions. Do you like Big Show as a face or a heel? You know what,
definitely,
100%.
We've answered that question so many times. This is my response.
can't even get through it. You want to try to finish? Or you want to move on?
Here we go. That's my response.
Why do you think Christian is the Intercontinental Champion? I thought he would be going after the World Championship, since I do remember Crystal saying that the Intercontinental Championship is for upcoming superstars, which Christian has been there for years now. Congrats on the 1,000 subscribers. Sub till the end. Thank
Christian has been, to me, in the blur of wrestling, seems if Christian has been Intercontinental Champion since 2002. Like, it has never stopped. Like, it just seems like he's been 2004, 2000 now. Oh my gosh.
I mean, like, I think
that they put him on him because if he goes in the TNA Hall of Fame, they're like, well, we want somebody, that has meaning. So it's like, oh, well, this is our Intercontinental Champion. I don't know.
And as far as me saying that, that is my opinion, that I think
that's the way it should
that's
go.
how I view it, and that's how it should go, but,
it's WWE.
I'm not their, CEO, so
yeah, they don't listen to you so much. They do. They do listen to you sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's on record, so.
That's right, so.
And they have stolen your gimmick, Dean Ambrose.
Yeah! What's up with that? Give it back!
So.
Even though mine's not a gimmick, because it's for real.
Yeah. It's for real.
Anyways.
It took your for real hatred of Mick Foley and made it into a character.
I know!
Oh my gosh.
Dude, we gotta talk about this.
Where's our residuals?
That's right. Anyways, Octasian says, hey y'all, how come you don't move to California like other YouTubers? Because
it would make no difference. What? I don't get that. Move to California, that wouldn't do anything.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess we could be around other YouTubers, but they wouldn't be wrestling YouTubers.
I don't particularly, as a Texan, we don't really get along with the California people.
California.
Just saying,
Is he from California?
I think so.
Hey, why are there so many songs that have California 10,000 times in the chorus? I don't understand that.
Just saying, Texans don't go to California.
Yeah.
It's just not right, man.
We got our own coast.
That's right. We don't need y'all. Anyways. Chronix, can I license your name to use on t-shirts? It's a marketable name.
I mean, if you give me some money and send me one, yeah.
Yeah, but you want the money. And you gotta have, retain the rights to your name, too.
Yeah.
It'd be a big, complicated thing. You should say no.
Okay, I'll say no. I'll ask David Otunga first.
Okay. No. Congrats. These questions are for both of you, but Jay Pinkman says, congrats. These questions are for both of you, by the way. Number 1, if you had to pick one wrestler to go on holiday with, who would it be? And I know that you are probably from the United Kingdom because you said holiday.
Yes, he has to be. Only people from the UK say go on holiday.
That's right, but we say go on vacation.
Yeah.
But, okay, who would I go on holiday with?
Probably Layla.
No.
Why not? Good pal around.
Pal around.
Or Eve.
Someone of the same sex.
China. I don't know. Vince McMahon.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Let's see, I guess
even though he doesn't go on vacation.
That's true. That would be fun. I mean, it probably wouldn't be fun, actually, but if I had to pick somebody of the same sex, since I made you do that,
yeah,
I'll say Natalia.
Go up to Canada, the Great White North, or whatever it's called up there.
I think she seems like a nice girl. I don't know. Number 2. Do you have any plans to further your opinion on wrestling, or is YouTube it? What other plans would we have to further our opinion on wrestling? What are you referring to?
I don't know.
He has the Pinkman tweets or something on Twitter, so maybe he's talking about, talking about it more on Twitter, but we talk on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know what he's talking about. And you want us to do, radio, AM radio or something? I don't understand.
I guess our answer is that YouTube's it.
I mean, I guess, unless I can get hired by a wrestling company talking about... I don't get that. Maybe I could be a commentator and I could slip in like little cheap shots at wrestlers I don't like. Or, I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I could be like Michael Cole.
Alright, Crazy Ninja Master 33.
Our 50th subscriber.
Waiting for that. Says, do you have any autographed WWE merchandise?
Not yet, but actually a good friend of mine said that he's going to be sending one, so if we get that, I will make a video about it.
Oh no, I did something bad.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, I get to the next question.
I'm sorry!
Crazy Ninja Master isn't going to wait all day. You know,
You answered his question.
You know, Crazy Ninja Master 33 also
I swear
does...
if you say he's my 50th subscriber.
He also does stop animation.
Good
It's something
friend.
I always wanted to do, but man, I ain't got no patience for that.
Okay, the 812 Ray says, I have a question. Do you think since Big Show heel turn, he will be better? Yes.
Yes, because he was just insufferable as the goofy guy to me.
Pretty much.
Teddy, we gotta check
Number
the time.
2.
Let's flip you over.
Would Stone Cold or Goldberg ever return? If so, how do you think it would go? Goldberg is never coming back. That dude was not a wrestler in the first place. I mean, really.
Yeah.
And now that that's blown, I mean, like, I knew it from the moment I saw him, but I'm just saying, now that everybody knows that, I don't even think people would care.
Yeah. With Stone Cold, like, coming back,
Yeah.
maybe for like 1 or 2 matches, but
I think Stone
you gotta
Cold
remember
is-
that they're getting old.
I know, and I think Stone Cold's pretty happy being retired. Like, you know, some guys can't take it, but I think he's taking it good. He seems real happy out on his ranch, which is good. Like, really good. So you don't end up like certain other people who can't let it go. Okay. Did Greatest Ever 1320 already ask 2 questions, or did he only ask 1 question?
I don't know.
I'm looking. I want to be fair. He only asked 1. Okay. Don't get impatient over here. You're not running the questions.
Well, obviously.
Greatest Ever 1320 has another question. He says, what WWE superstar or diva do you think best reflects your personality?
My personality. I don't know. What are you looking at me like that for?
I was seeing if you were going to pick a face or a heel.
I mean, honestly, I think like I can personally connect with Morrison, like in his personality. And I hate saying that because I think people have a twisted view of what his personality is. You know, because of that rumor about Melina and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's true.
Right.
But I can see him, and I think I can personally connect a little bit with Zack Ryder. And
I was going to think, because there's somebody that reminds me of you, like every time I see him, but I can't remember who it is.
because of the way he got himself over, because they're like, well, you know, and he's like, I'll make my own YouTube, whatever.
See, and I mean, yeah, like that, and then I mean maybe even like Chris Jericho, because he kind of has that same attitude. Like he reminds me of you sometimes.
Really?
Sometimes.
And you know, Morrison did all them videos by himself because he's like, well, I'm gonna be relevant no matter what.
Yeah. So,
And he does video editing himself and shoots stuff, so you know, and I do that too.
so you're gonna say Morrison? Okay.
I guess.
I don't know.
can't think of anybody else like off the top of my head.
It's hard to say for me because you don't get to see the divas enough to know what their personality is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I would.
You remind me a lot of Vince Russo, but not in a bad way. But not in a bad.
Vince Russo?
But not in a bad way.
What about Vince Russo isn't bad?
Come on, Vince.
Please explain this to me.
A lot of this hate towards Vince Russo is like people being worked. He came up with a lot of good ideas. He might be overinflated about his opinion of himself, but he is a guy who was working in a crappy position in WWE. He stood up and said things have got to change, if that's true. And Vince finally was like, ah, and he's like, all right, I'm going to do this. He wrote the article about Stone Cold Steve Austin with the face and the 316, and Vince is like, well, what is this? And then you know, and then he's like, okay, we'll do it. And then it became a big thing. He was able to get guys to do stuff. He didn't set back the main point, whether all that other stuff is hearsay, whatever. The main point is Vince Russo stood up and said, I want this to happen, and if you fire me, fine, I don't care, but this is what I think and this is what I believe.
So that's the respect that reminds me
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he stood up and he wasn't afraid. At no point in his career was he ever afraid to say anything.
Well, couldn't I be Vince McMahon then? Because he was never afraid.
I guess.
I'd rather be Vince. Anyways.
Or Eric Bischoff. You remind me of Eric Bischoff, too.
What is with you and these guys that just fail?
I don't consider them failures.
Okay. I'm going to be Vince.
I don't think either one of them are failures.
I'm going to be Vince.
Just
I want to
saying.
be a failure. I want to be a success. Okay.
They're not failures as human beings.
Their business ideas failed.
Vince Russo wasn't in charge of business.
They made him in charge of business, though. But
No, he
that's
wasn't.
their fault, I guess.
Charge of writing.
Well, whatever. Anyways. Congrats. Nathan Forks You says, congrats on 1,000 subs. Would you guys like to see a Rock versus Undertaker match at WrestleMania?
That's an interesting one.
You know?
I never even thought of that.
I didn't either. It might be good.
I don't think they'd ever do it, though.
I don't think they'd do it, but it might be good. I'm not sure if it would be a good idea, storyline-wise.
You know, because it doesn't make sense with The Rock. You know, that's weird. Like, the more that doesn't work for some
Storyline-wise,
reason.
that doesn't work, but I do think it would be an entertaining match to watch if it was just like an isolated match. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Undertaker has fought him before because he talked about his 33-pound head and how his eyes are gonna roll in the back of the head and it's gonna roll off his shoulder and he's gonna shove it up his candy. Yeah, it's something like that. But he always said 33-pound head, and every time he said that, I laughed.
And then he also asked us about the suspensions of Chris Jericho and Randy Orton, but we answered that like 6 times already. So now. Flyers Lover Forever says, great video, shout out from the UK. So thanks, dude. Another from other country.
Thanks for Wallace and Gromit.
That's right, we appreciate that.
And the Beatles.
And that's why he commented on that other video and said no love for the UK.
Oh, because we hadn't got to you yet, dude. You gotta wait.
You at the end. Alright, anyways. Question for you guys. Do you think the business has got harder to watch with it now being PG, or do you think it's because most of the guys we used to know and love are no longer in the business? Okay, is the business harder to watch because it's PG, or is the business harder to watch because the guys we know and love aren't in the business anymore?
Okay.
To me, it's easier to watch, so I got no comment on this.
I don't think the PG's got nothing to do with it. PG doesn't mean that things have to suck. I think that there's a big problem with us not having people to care about. I don't think that they give us long enough to care about those people. Because like in the Attitude Era, like in the early days of the Attitude Era, they were stretched thin. So they had to put those guys out there. So they had to put people like Mick Foley out there for us to care about. Nowadays, you would have him come out and they would bury him. They'd be like, oh, this isn't working in week 2. Let's bury Mick Foley and never have him show up.
People go in and out too much.
Yeah.
Because, like, I get emotionally attached to Dolph Ziggler, then I don't see him for 2 weeks, then he comes back.
Yeah, I forget about
people. It just
people.
goes in and out, like, way too much. And if you don't have a real connection with somebody, like, you forget about them when they're gone for a couple weeks.
Like 3 weeks ago, it never crossed my mind for months. Like, where's Alberto Del Rio? I forgot
that the dude even existed.
And Wade Barrett, like, somebody brought up Wade Barrett, and I forgot about Wade Barrett. You know, and all these Nexus guys. Like, if CM Punk left, I wouldn't forget about CM Punk. He's been there long enough. They've pushed him, you know. But emotionally attached to none of these guys. And it's sad because so many of them have so much talent and nobody cares. You know,
yeah,
and I think honestly, that, like, the average fan is totally not going to care about them.
And also, like, I think, honestly, like, it's good that they have all this younger talent, but it's like their roster's too crowded.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to squeeze too many guys on TV time.
Well, there's no WCW to take them away.
I know, so it's like they're trying to squeeze too many guys on TV time, and there's just not time for everybody.
Yeah.
Alright, so now, Benjamin8281 says, number 1, which random superstar would you rather Crazy AJ to be with, Jeff Hardy or CM Punk?
Jeff Hardy.
CM Punk. I don't like Jeff at all. I like him less than CM Punk.
You're so weird.
You read the Hardy Boys book, right? Yeah. Come on.
I'm just talking about storylines.
I know.
You can continue.
If both of you had a match at WrestleMania on WWE 13 or WWE 12 for the WWE Championship, who would win?
Oh, against each other?
I guess.
I would win.
I would win.
How would you win?
All I gotta do is kick you in the balls and throw you out of the ring. Done.
Yeah, anyways.
I'm just saying.
Continue.
Alright. Dr. Fred 1993 says...
Dr. Fred.
WWE seems desperate, can't read anymore, to
Yeah,
reinforce their roster, so they are trying to sign TNA talents. What do you think about this?
They're trying to sign... Yeah, I don't understand that. They got too much talent already.
Yeah, we just said that they got too many people. So...
I don't know why they're trying to screw TNA, because it's not like TNA's even a threat.
Yeah.
If anything, it would be better for TNA to be a bigger threat, because, you know, competition.
Yeah, competition always makes things better. And then he wants to know, which wrestlers or knockouts do you think they should sign when their contracts are over, and why?
Velvet Sky, because... Yeah.
Technically, going with what we said on the last question, our answer should be none.
Yeah, but Velvet Sky...
None.
Ooh.
The Divas aren't even on TV.
Well, that's true, so let's not sign them.
Yeah. Alright. Now, Mr. LFC WWE fan says, Jomo or HBK? HBK.
HBK.
Best match ever each.
WrestleMania 13, Iron Man match. Has to be.
I mean, I would pick... I do not like that Iron Man match.
Ugh.
It's too long.
Yeah.
I would pick... I mean, I honestly, I really liked his retirement match against Taker. It was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I was just picking one.
Yeah.
Out of the vast pool of great matches.
Right.
Last question?
Yes. Last question.
Oh my gosh.
For the people that sent it in on time. There was a couple people that did not, and sorry, rules are rules. Alright. Zombie Warrior 88 says, question 1. Do you two answer questions for Q&A on other social networks? We don't do a formal Q&A, but I mean if you want to shoot us a question...
On Twitter? Yeah. I'll answer it.
Knock yourself out.
Yeah, I'll answer it anytime.
I'm not going to lie, I don't check my Twitter like he does, so sometimes I don't. But yeah, so you can Twitter me.
Yeah, anytime on Twitter, I'll answer you. I might not have the most detailed answer of all, 140 characters, obviously. Right. So I'll answer whatever. I don't care.
This is an interesting question for Crystal. What are your feelings, thoughts on Ray Bradbury dying today, June 2nd? He says he meant June 5th, not June 2nd. Which, that Wednesday?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I don't know. It says 2 days ago, so I assumed it was Wednesday. Anyways, I really liked Ray Bradbury. I read his book, Fahrenheit. I always want to say Fahrenheit 9/11. That's Michael Moore's stupid documentary. Fahrenheit 451. And that was one of the most profound books that I ever read. I would say it's one of those ones that made me really think. So I really, really liked him just for the fact that he really had a lot of great thoughts. And if you read that book, it's scary because it's happening, and he wrote this a long time ago, and you can see the de-evolution of society moving in that direction, which if you haven't read the book, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But it just basically, it's just that it's it's just, I don't know, it's too long to really go into,
yeah.
But so just try to, look into the book, because it's basically just about how, people, as you lose the ability to think, everybody gets happier, but you're not really happy, and it's, kind of about that, and it's about, how easily manipulable people are,
yeah.
Because it's all about how, they have elections, but they're not really elections, because it's obvious who's going to win, and, I feel like we have that today. Honestly.
And that's one thing that
I even have a little conspiracy theory that they're already doing that.
Oh my gosh, you're so...
But,
But, that's one thing I really try to push on this channel, is for people to think. I don't care if people disagree with me. If somebody was to tear apart something I said, limb from limb, I would be...
I'd be okay.
I would actually think it was awesome that somebody could do that.
I would
or
too.
Would do that. But, that's why we always try to, introduce different perspectives and different sides, because it drives me crazy when wrestling fans are this is the way it is, and this thing, and this... It's the same thing every time.
It just drives me nuts for that on... It's
just in life in general.
Yeah, because in life in general, because it's like, I see, like, especially, like, teenagers and stuff, like, I ask them to defend what they say, and it's like you just get this blank stare, like they never heard of that in their whole life.
Defend?
And
I said.
Yeah, and it just bothers me as a whole, because, like, in order to think and share ideas, like, you need to be able to say to somebody, you know, I think this, and this is why. And then, what do you think, and why do you think that way? And then we can learn from each other.
Yeah. And sometimes people just hear something and they just repeat it.
Yeah.
And then they don't know why they think that way.
Like, I don't like to, and like, because Chronix is always saying, wow, Crystal, you say really crazy things, but I never say anything on here that I can't back up. And so, like, that's one of my big things. And so, I mean, it just, like, that's just, and that's, like, going back to the Ray Bradbury thing, like, he's just one of those people that pioneered, like, thoughts to that, is like, hey, you know, like, this is a problem. And, like, I think with a lot of his writing, like, he introduced ideas like that. And, I mean, that's where the phrase, like, the pen is mightier than the sword. Like, I really believe that, because when you look back over history, it's not until somebody wrote a book about something that something happened. Like, you can think about, like, the meat packing plants and stuff. The guy wrote The Jungle, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow, the public now knows what's going on. That's just happened. It was something Sinclair, Upton Sinclair. He went to the meat packing place and wrote a book about what happened.
Did he write The Time Machine? That's
H.G. Wells. Totally off. Way off. And then,
I like H.G.
also,
Wells.
there was one, remember, I know you do, like Uncle Tom's Cabin, Abraham Lincoln said...
That song by Poison?
No.
Or Warrant?
Anyways, what I was saying was, is another example, because when Abraham Lincoln met the author of Uncle Tom's Cabin, he said, so you're the little woman who started this war, because she was the one that her book brought to the attention of everybody, like, how bad slavery really was.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, I think that he was a really profound guy, and I mean, I'm sad that the world doesn't have him and his thoughts anymore.
Well, he wrote enough.
The cool thing about literature is that it will always be around until the Fahrenheit 451 situation comes, when we don't want to think anymore and all books are gone.
And then you just burn the books, and then you don't even know why you're burning the books or what you're even burning. You're just burning them because it's your job.
I mean, I am afraid, because, you know, like, when you read, like, reading rates have declined so much. Nobody reads anymore. And that's really sad, because to me, like, that's how I learned how to think.
Yeah.
And how I learned how to formulate thoughts. And I'm not saying that if you don't read, you're an idiot. I'm not saying that at all. Because you don't read much, and I don't think you're an idiot, obviously. And so, but I think it's sad that kids don't read anymore.
Yeah. All right. Well, I didn't know he was going to talk about books on the end of our Q&A, but we totally were. So, thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. It's been freaking insane. I can't believe we actually made it, but we made it.
And we're really excited.
And we made a 10-part Q&A. Whoa.
Ooh.
So, see you guys next time.